What is good, family? This is your girl. I am Courtney Michelle. Thank you so much for coming in on this Saturday afternoon. This is going to be a little different, you guys. I am excited about today because this is going to, we're going to talk about just some random, say what topics that's been going on, whether sports, entertainment, what's been going on this week. And there's a lot of things that's been happening where I'm just like, WTF, quite frankly. So I'm going to go ahead and get in it. You guys, first in Mills, I see you, my darling. Vivian E. Black, what is going on? Hawk, I see you. Is Barry, did I see you in here? What is going on? Noah, better you, long time no see. We're going to go ahead and get in it. You guys, I have a panel that we are going to discuss hot topics, our opinion. I want you guys to chime in. I want your opinion on this too. If you have a different take, let us know. But let's go ahead and bring up my panel guest. I got a couple pretty ladies that's going to be joining me. We are pretty in pink today. Let's give a warm welcome to the Miss, the beautiful, the illustrious TJ Randolph. What is going on, TJ? You look lovely.
Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for having me.
Oh, absolutely. And last but not least, you call her your lucky charm. You call her the most beautiful, eccentric, and her thoughts and opinions, but she's gonna give it to you like it T.I. is. What is going on? She's so lucky. What is going on, Mamacita?
Live for the introduction.
You ladies look beautiful today.
Yes, 3LW.
Yes, come on, 3L. This might be a little singing group we have to get. I got vocals. No. Okay, we're gonna blaze you right now. So there's a lot of stuff that's been going on. Every week it just seems like something. And I wanted to do a review and I wanted you guys to join me. And let's rock out and let's talk about some stuff. You guys ready?
Ready.
Yeah, okay. So there's a compilation of a lot of stuff. You guys seen the thumbnails. We're going to talk about it all. And let's talk about the first topic that I have at hand. And I don't know if you guys have heard about it, but this is Brooklyn Nets guard Cam Thomas. Have you guys heard or seen what's been going on with him in the news?
No.
All right. So there was an after game after he was playing again from the Brooklyn Nets, and he said something that was very, very controversial, and he got fined $40,000. And it's for the term that we always have heard a long time, no homo.
Okay.
Let's listen to what he had to say.
We're lacking that.
I seen it, but I was like, man, he just talking for the last. We already had good-looking dudes, no homo. But you know how it goes.
All right. I'm sure the legal office will enjoy that one. Spencer, you guys have obviously.
That's it.
See, the thing about it, you can't, even like when I was growing up, you used to be like, that's gay. You know what I'm saying? But I can see how it could be offensive, like saying that's gay versus no homo. Like Lil Wayne said that in probably a lot of his mixtapes, if you ever listen to Lil Wayne. So it was like a slogan when you say something that seems like he just said he complimented another man. It's like no homo, it's lingo. But now you can't even say certain lingo that's offensive to a group or even reference anything. So $40,000 for saying no homo?
$40,000 for that 5-second pretty much clip. And pretty much what the interview was talking about, the attractive guys on there. And he said, yeah, there's some attractive guys on the team, no homo, but yeah, it is. After the game, they fined him $40,000 for saying that. TJ, what you got on that topic?
Girl, please, let me tell you something. The fact that he has to say that is the problem. Because nowadays, if you do compliment somebody that's the same sex, it's automatically assumed that you are gay. So what I take offense to the fact that now we've come to a point in our society that we do feel like we have to qualify it. So I'm sorry, but I agree. I mean, again, I think I've shared with you that even in schools, there was a girl who came home to talk to her grandfather about, am I gay? Because she had complimented her friend in school on the outfit that she had on. And then students and teachers were assuming that she was gay. What
Mm.
the hell? I'm sorry.
So, well, my thing is, and I think what they're trying to say is that was anti-LGBTQ, homophobic slur by saying no homo. Is that derogatory term?
No, I mean, I think it's, what if they start saying, what if a gay guy was like, Courtney, you look very pretty, no hetero.
Would you get offended? I wouldn't.
No,
I understand you're not gay, but you could. I don't know.
I don't care. Like, it's, but you see, the thing I do admire about that community is whether we agree with it or not, they set boundaries. Like, our group and our community don't do that. Anybody can say whatever they want. They can imitate us. They can mimic us. They can do whatever they want and use our terms. What's up, my N-word? You know, you be looking like, okay, you know, we're not, we're so, our community is so welcoming of everyone else, while other communities kind of shut us out and have parameters to understand that you're a guest, if that makes sense. So I admire the fact that even on TV, you can't even say nothing as far as your lingo that has anything to do with their community because you would be fined or canceled or things like that. I think we could learn from them.
You know, that's an interesting take, and I agree because you know how many people. Well, you know, now if someone says like the N-word, then they get canceled as well too. We don't cancel our own, but if you, what's up, my Nick? What's up? I mean, we can say that all day.
But
You know, you don't cancel because Lil Pump got a song with Kanye West. And Lil Pump is Caucasian and he's saying the N-word. We see Cardi B and different people who are Puerto Rican but they're with the culture, but we excuse the N-word as long as you seem like you're with the culture. Them, I don't care if you seem like you with the community, don't use what we can say.
Yeah.
You know?
So he of course tweeted out, and when you go against a group set of individuals, and they're going to find you just like that. And of course, you always have to apologize. So, of course, you know, he did do an apology, and he went on his Twitter account and specified this. I want to apologize for the insensitive word I used in the post-game interview. I was excited about the win and was being playful. I definitely didn't intend to offend anyone, but realized that I probably did. My apologies again. Much love. Was it insensitive? I took it as playful. So and I did not see anyone as far as within the community that took it as disrespect, but all of a sudden it just got censored just in case anyone did. So can we not play? You can't joke. Is this a group that you just can't do anything, say anything about, criticize, or it's over and I'm going to get fined thousands and thousands of dollars?
No, you can't play. You can't play with them. You understand me? You can't play with them. I mean, on the, you know, I'm getting fired up. Where's my fan? The fact that, again, even going back to some songs that predates this movement, you know, we'll think about, you know, the stuff that we watch Eddie Murphy and the jokes that he made, and think about, you know, Living Color. I mean, the hell? I'm like, enough already.
Yeah.
You're so damn sensitive.
It's completely sensitive. And it's so sad to see because back in the day, you know, we've said a whole lot of stuff within Living Color, any TV show back in the 80s and the 90s. Of course, you said what was on your mind. Now, you know, you got to be very, very careful. And does that impede on freedom of speech?
It absolutely does. It absolutely does.
I have to agree with everything a group says unless, or else. It's an or else.
Yeah, it absolutely impedes on free speech. And it's interesting because, you know, it'd be different if he said, no homo, I hate homos, or he didn't say that. He was like, you know, yeah, you know, there's some good looking dudes, no homo. I'm like, What's wrong with y'all?
What is wrong with the people? I agree. So that was one of the things in sports. But then, even with that, I saw another story that I want to talk about today too. And this is sports, and we're getting close. It's Super Bowl time
Tomorrow.
Yes. Who you got? Now, who's in it? We got the Eagles and we got Kansas City Chiefs.
I don't care since Dallas is not in it.
Well, I'm a Titan fan, so I don't necessarily care. I'm leaning towards the Chiefs just because I cannot stand Eagles fans. Quick story. The Eagles played the Tennessee Titans a couple months ago. We lost, but I had some family go and see the game, and it was in Philly. When I tell you, they said that they was about to, when they had on their Tennessee Titans gear, the fans was cussing them out. One dude looked like they wanted to spit at them, and it was like we felt like we had to be strapped just wearing a jersey. And then just looking at the Eagles fans, they're wild, and I don't respect them. Okay, so I'm going for the Chiefs for tomorrow to win it all.
And the only thing, if I had to say that I like, only because Jalen Hurts is a Sooner, shout out to my OU Sooners. But that's the only reason, but other than that, I don't care.
I don't care either. So, Michael Irving, old school. You talked about what Cowboys, old school. He's been around for a very long time. One of the greatest. Very controversial, been going through a lot of things personally in his life, but has now been a commentator, and he has always did something around the NFL. Mm-hmm. Well, recently, Michael Irving has been in the news, and he is filing a $100 million lawsuit against a hotel chain. And it's off a woman saying that he did some misconduct. Have you heard about this story?
I had not, but when I saw it on the thumbnail, I did go read an article about it. So I am up to date on it a little bit. I'm like, wait a minute, and based on what he said, it was less than a minute interaction in a public lobby.
We go over it. So the former Cowboy wide receiver, Michael Irving, is seeking more than $100 million in damages after he said a Marriott International and a female employee in Phoenix defamed him and wrongfully stated that he was doing something other than business in the hotel. Let me pull up, because I went to see. Oh, the receipts.
Uh-oh.
There were guys there at the hotel that was recording, and good thing that people have phones now that are recording, because you can actually see in real time if someone is being honest or not. Everybody got a camera. Everybody's going to bring it out. But real quick, the background of it is that the dispute derived from a lobby exchange that occurred Sunday evening between him and some staffers at the Renaissance in Phoenix downtown. The lawsuit stated that there were several witnesses in the conversation and different phone interviews that was taken over the past week about what exactly happened to Michael Irving. The employee stated that he had an interaction with her and being very, very, I don't want to say sexual, but misconduct. They decided to kick him out, just going off her words. They kicked him out the hotel. And the NFL, after hearing this, because the woman called the NFL, whomever, and told them that he was treating her wrongly. And they decided, well, Michael Irving, because she stated this, you will not commentate on the NFL tomorrow. So they done banned him off the show that he was supposed to be on tomorrow. So not only is he claiming that it defamed his name, but he's also losing out on I don't know how much money just because of what she stated. It wasn't anything that they decided to look into. They automatically jumped to remove him off the show tomorrow for the Super Bowl, and he's pissed.
Of course, I would be too.
Absolutely. Let me play this video, and this is what the guys stated. What happened? Let's take a look.
That's him.
That's him talking in the back. Talking to the staffers.
Amen.
The guy stated that he was only there for a couple of minutes. It was 3 men that was there, bought him a drink, and they recorded the interaction between the employee staffer. There was nothing that those guys said that's going to be in the lawsuit that said that he did anything inappropriate. And again, the NFL did not want to investigate. The NFL media canceled all Irving's Super Bowl weekend appearances. ESPN also followed and canceled any guest appearances that he was supposed to be on as well with the Super Bowl. So they already canceled him without any kind of investigation because of what she just stated.
I would sue the NFL too. All of them.
He's suing for $100 million.
All of them.
Yeah. Lucky, were you able to catch some of that? Have you heard this story? What are your thoughts about Michael Irving suing $100 million towards a franchise Renaissance hotel in Phoenix because a woman claimed that he was partaking in some misconduct with her, and they canceled his NFL appearances for the Super Bowl, and they kicked him out the hotel completely.
Yeah, I heard a little bit about it. I honestly think that more of us should start taking the approach to start suing for every little thing personally. Like, I don't care how big or small it is. If you harass me, if you Karen anything, I think we should start suing them. They do it to us. Like, we should start taking different approaches towards the situation.
Yeah.
Especially since I feel like the media has been harassing him anyway. Like, I feel like he's always in the media for something. So anytime you have this highlight or you do anything that seems like it's controversial, they find any reason to try to mess with you. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I think if I was him, I would sue. What would you do?
Absolutely sue. Because the thing is that these headlines are going to be forever, and we see the headlines. Now, after the fact, after the lawsuit, if he wins or finds out that she was wrong and that she lied on him, you don't get that story. That don't make necessarily the big headlines, but this is going to be in there forever. And Michael Irving has always, tried to clean up his image back in the day with the drug use. Yes. So he's always been trying to clean his image. And I think he's done a phenomenal job of being a superstar, falling from grace, getting back up. It's really a story of redemption for me with Michael Irving.
I was going to say the exact same
bringing
thing.
it back by just what she stated, but necessarily not true. And again, for them not to investigate and to go ahead and cancel him, and this is his job, and this is how he's making money on the biggest night in football, I think it's ridiculous.
They always want to cancel you. Like, I'm so tired of that word.
Cancel culture.
Oh my gosh. They always want to cancel you. People don't even really get canceled, but they always try to cancel you for every little thing. Oh, you said this, anti, blah, blah, blah. And it ain't even necessarily anti. Like, they don't even say, audience, do you think it? No, they just, we have to do this. So, but it's not even really cancel. It's we're going to make an example. And it's always our community that gets made the example, especially when it comes to sports, because I know y'all seen Django.
Yeah.
I look at like Black athletes as mandingos.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
So like y'all don't really own it. We just pay y'all to go do whatever on the field. And the real people who control it, pay y'all to do whatever on the field. So you gonna act the way we want you to, you gonna say what we want you to say or what we need you to say. And you may not even you may not even know it's wrong to say until you say it, but we got to make an example because you a mandingo and we can find another mandingo as quick as possible. That's how I look at them.
Yeah. The guy
Well, you remember, was it Jerry Jones or somebody that said, he likened the football players to the inmates running the prison?
go in on that.
I think it was around the time when they were taking a knee. And Colin Kaepernick, and they were taking a knee, and a lot of the athletes were taking a knee. And it may have been Jerry Jones. I can't exactly be sure, but I know it was a football owner. I know it was an owner. And he said that basically you can't allow the inmates to run the prison.
Well, it's a lot with about football, and with people looking at the football players, knowing that it's over 90% African American, and they're breeded, quote unquote, to be this monstrous group of men that are absolutely just beast mode. But yet none of them have ownership. None of them have a say. And again, they are also they're the one that goes through the CTE. Those are the ones that can lose their life or fall out, pass out, on the 10-yard line, whatever. Right. But they have no say. They can't do anything, but they represent a country. They represent a company that is woke. The NFL is woke.
Wow.
And it's media, though.
Who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk it?
I mean, who would have? They work for a multi-million-dollar corporation.
You would say they were woke?
The NFL? Absolutely.
Okay, let me ask this. If they are woke, does it matter if you woke if you still willing to act like you sleep?
That's good. Okay, so the term woke
explain
turned into something else. So before, when you was woke, it was I'm enlightened, and I see. It was the other term now that we use for red pill. That's what woke was. Like, I get it. I understand things now. Now woke is termed as super liberal, super inclusive, but that inclusivity, they don't understand, is actually not being inclusive, because you're not including anyone with a different belief. And this is woke. And if you don't believe that, then you're asleep, and we're going to cancel you. And that's where the whole no homo, now with the Michael Irving.
It's Me Too on steroids, seems like.
It does seem like that.
I don't know. Yeah, I just live here at this point.
Oh man. So
I mean, when can we get our own like woke terminology? Like, what can our community deem and set a boundary and like bully people? You better not say this. Like, do you think you need that social media power? Not social media. Do you think you need that media leverage to be able to strict let me see, put parameters on people to say stuff? Because even look at YouTube, look at Facebook, Instagram. There was a time, it's a little bit feedback. There was a time where, even now, I don't know if you remember, they did that sweep on social media to where you can't say certain words. They was getting me for stuff I said in 2012. So I just closed Facebook down because they was gonna close me down anyway. So I was like, okay, every other thing you can say, but if I say you black N-word B, it does not get flagged. If I say anything that is against us, it doesn't get flagged. But every other group has that ability. So what could we do to be able to censor other people or anybody, even in these spaces? Don't say this about black men. Don't say this about black women. What can we do? Or do you think that comes with, I don't want to say that group, but the group that pretty much own media? Do you think
we can do not a damn thing? Okay, not a damn thing. And I'm gonna be honest, because it goes back to what you say. We don't have the power. We don't own anything. So we not a damn thing. And the travesty of it is we are asleep that we didn't even notice it, because when I start hearing the term woke, if you will, was around the time of the movie Get Out. And the messages that were coming from that movie about stay woke, in other words, pay attention to what's going on around you as it relates to us as a people. So that's what I thought woke meant.
I thought woke
Now,
was just like Bible.
and now it's something completely different.
I was gonna say I've always heard woke like it was one before you knew your eyes were closed, and like God, your eyes are open. That's how I just seen woke is. Whatever you were close to, and now your eyes are open. You can't unsee it. You can act like you don't know it. That's just what I deem woke. Whether it be you before you didn't have knowledge. Now it's just like when we were taught the time where everybody was exposing the entertainment world, and they were showing symbolism. They were showing. Now you can't unsee it. You're woke.
Yeah,
you can watch a BET award, but you're gonna see all the symbolism, and you can't ignore it.
See, I think of it different. I think if I'm talking Bible and looking at the idea of Adam and Eve decided to eat the fruit of knowledge, because that's what the devil was going, hey, God doesn't want you to know these things. However, if you eat from the fruit of knowledge, your third eye will be woke. It'll be open. And now you know all. And you know everything that God doesn't even want you to know, that he wants to shield you and hide you and protect you from. Now you're woke. And so when I think of that and the idea of the third realm, I don't think it's biblically as far as sound doctrine, what Christ want you to do. I think it's the idea of you know all. You don't have to have faith because you know what's going on. And that's the idea of woke. And I honestly don't think that God wants us to have all of this random knowledge, because then it turns into what you see now. The idea of woke is now, I can judge you now because you're not thinking like me. I don't need God. I know it all now. I don't have to depend on anyone. And then it separates us more. Because now look at us. Everybody is so woke, they dumb.
Girl, they sleep.
They so woke, they went back to bed.
Hello, beloved. Hello. We were all queens. None of us were peasants. We were all queens. Yeah.
Oh no.
Every last one of them.
Yeah, every last one of us was queens. What? That's why I call everyone queen and king. Like, stop that. That's not true. Okay, some of us were peasants then, and we're here now, but that's fine. You can rebuild.
But going back to Michael Irvin, I think when I think about it, I think it's a travesty, like you said, a redemption story. And I'm going to go ahead and be honest. Us Black people don't get too many opportunities for redemption. I'm just saying. I mean, I'm not going to say we don't get opportunities, but I haven't seen it as much. I haven't seen it as much, because he was at the bottom, cracked out. Okay.
He was. Michael Irvin was all the way down, drug, and it was like, it was sad to see how great he was in that fall.
Like Lamar Odom? Like Lamar Odom cracked out, or worse?
White lips and all.
Cat Williams.
No. Okay, on the scale of Michael Irvin to Lamar Odom, I mean, it was a different time too. So the times back then, you didn't have social media. You just heard what was on the news and all the arrests. He might have been worse than Lamar Odom, because I don't think Lamar Odom was going to jail and getting locked up like that. He was just going to rehab.
Right.
Yeah.
So again, when you talk about a redemption story, I mean, he truly did. So I think it would be, he will be stupid to risk it all after he's, you know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking in my mind, that's just too much to lose. Why would you do something for, that's stupid? And I just don't think, I didn't think for a moment that he would be that stupid.
Yeah, I'm calling Cap. I'm calling Cap on her.
I am too.
I don't, again, with that video and the guy's recording, and then he has multiple of men there that was saying he did nothing wrong, and you don't have anyone saying that her story is correct. Not a one. I think they jumped to a conclusion, and I think they're wrong. And I hope that Michael Irvin get every cent of that lawsuit. He jumped on that quick. He said, "Oh no, I'm suing, babe. No, because this just happened."
But see, why isn't there anything in place for when women are lying on athletes? Like there is nothing in place. It just goes away.
There is nothing in place for women that lie. And this is an age-old thing that women have been able to say things to a man. He did this to me. He did that. Come to find out it's wrong. It's a lie. But what happens? He loses his job, loses his reputation, can lose his family. It turns out to be false. And then the woman gets a slap on the wrist.
And they don't say anything. I don't see these companies coming back saying, we publicly apologize for taking your endorsements. They don't come back and do that. I mean, it's like it just disappears.
Yeah.
This is why men need to, I'm the one. That's why you need to get your sister on her. She lying.
Sister.
I have to call my sister.
Well, and here's another thing. What happens, because a lot of times, I'm not an attorney, but I done dealt with some suits. A lot of times is they will settle, right? And when they settle with no admission of wrongdoing. Yeah. They settle for an undisclosed amount without any admission of wrongdoing.
Yeah. Let me get to a super chat that I got here. Thank you so much, DJ Torch Live Network, for the $10. Don't you find it strange that red pill Black men complain more about Black women than they do Karens? I think that red pill, it's an umbrella. I think it's an umbrella term, and I think there's a lot of content creators that's quote unquote red pill, whether Black, white, Span, whatever. And I think the grievance that a lot of men are having amongst women, I think it's legit. Do men talk about Karens? I see them talk about a lot of Karens. So I can't say that I don't hear them speak about it. Hell, the biggest thing that I'm seeing right now that people have been talking about is the women that's been going to the gym that's bent over and are purposely recording men looking at them, posting it on TikTok and claiming harassment. That's really one of the biggest stories that I'm seeing currently that a lot of red pill content creators, Black, white, purple, blue, are speaking about, that they can't even go to the gym and glance at a woman without her wanting to record it and place it on TikTok.
I'm so glad you said that, because that's in my doc to do a video on.
Okay.
Only because I didn't know you can be sexually harassing somebody just by looking. Like, if you got a fat ass and you bent over, girl, I'm looking. Like, my girl probably looking like, especially if it's nice, you want me to look.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And then it's kind of like, now they talking about women ain't in the gym. Now when women in the gym, it's a problem. Like, these type of women affect men from approaching me in public, if we being honest.
Let's talk about it.
When you
go ahead.
When you single, it's like, okay, I would talk to her, but nah, she probably gonna say, like, that's affecting me. Now we flipping it to where if you think I'm about to be out here approaching men, you're crazy. You're crazy. We just not gonna talk to each other. You can't even smile, and it's offensive, or and it's not even us. It's not even our demographic. It's another demographic that creates these problems. If you kind of get what I'm saying, they create these problems because he's saying to Karen, and the one thing I want to say is that is Karen behavior. To provoke a situation to have the ability to call the police. To me, that's Karen behavior. So I think if we was honest, it's a lot of Black women Karens, but I think that the strife, it's not too many Karen situations happening enough for it to be a problem. But if we keep ignoring it, it will be a problem. But
yeah,
that's all I'd say.
Yeah, and I agree. I don't looking at someone is not. I mean, I can't look at you. And the thing is, because women will say this, and a lot, with those TikToks, and he's looking at me in this, but I ain't seen not a one of a man claiming harassment when we have videos of women looking at men in their gray sweatpants.
Please don't.
Sweatpants season. Is that not a thing?
I'm going to be in court if they do that.
I mean, is that not a thing? Sweatpants. I mean, I know all on TikTok and on Instagram, they have that little Beyonce and they just looking up and down at the man with the gray sweatpants. Ain't nobody saying nothing about that.
Like Sheila did on Why Did I Get Married when she was going up that mountain?
Yeah, not Sheila. Right. So it's if not worse, because you looking at someone that's glancing, but we're literally seeing videos of women looking at men with the gray sweatpants like, yes, look at that. I can't.
And let's be real. How many times have we heard over the course of my life, women go to the gym to look for men? Come on.
And I say this, if you don't want anyone looking at you, man or woman or whatever pronoun you want to name yourself, then dress accordingly. I mean, if a woman is walking next to me with her boobies out and her butt out, I'm gonna look. I can't help. I mean, it's a darn. She damn near naked. If a man walking by and I can see all that, I'm going to look. That's just a natural reaction. If you don't want anyone to look at you, cover your body.
Or work out at home. Like, let's be honest, even in a gym setting, if her body look banging and I'm sitting up here, I'm like, no, I was tired. Let me go on a little bit harder because she ain't about to outdo me. Like, that's how I be thinking. Like, she looked that good where I just wanted to do another rep or spend another hour in the gym. So sometimes it's motivating, but I think it's like, I don't know. I don't go to the gym. I work out at home. So
yeah. And they're recording it. So again, to say that you don't want any attention, but you're recording. I mean, how, so say for instance, you're recording for a video, fitness video, but you want somebody to see it. So how can you say that, you don't want anybody looking at you, but you're recording for the purpose of somebody seeing it?
Mm-hmm.
Help me understand.
Well, it's another way to attack me. You're in the age of attention seeking, I got you moments to go viral. And it always backfires. And I think this is going to backfire because now when I go to the gym, I mean, that was one of the pluses going to the gym. Is to look at attractive people working out. That inspired me. I'm going to the gym. I see someone up there looking like Michael B. Jordan. I'm going harder. Let me push out a little bit more.
Can you help me with this? Can you just, it's a little tough. I can't really. Thank you. That's what you do.
That is the purpose. I mean, I can work out at home, but sometimes if I go out, I want to work out. It was because, some cute guys at this gym. Let me go to here. And the same thing with men, because it inspires me. A handsome man will inspire a woman that wants to look at something. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, we're human. We're biologically created to be attracted to the opposite sex. Said majority.
I'm not sure I've seen what I think I'm seeing, but if that's intended to be disrespectful, please, mods, please handle that.
What's wrong?
She plays chess. Michael B. Jordan wouldn't want you.
No, she's saying because his preference.
Oh, okay, help me out. Okay, help me out. Thank y'all. Thank you because
okay. But that's not that's not. I mean, again, we are too literal. I don't care about his preference. And I don't care. It's just the idea that it does encourage someone in the gym. They see someone attractive. For me, I'm going to work out a little bit more. And that's okay. Hell, I take inspiration any kind of way to get me in the gym.
And I feel, when you think about this story and also the Karen, I feel sorry for young men and old men because you can't even flirt no more.
You can't even flirt.
You cannot even flirt anymore. So is it any wonder if you want that you have women like me who reached out to my husband because again, they're not sure if if it's going to be deemed as harassment.
I will say, I mean, now that our eyes are open, I will say, even with a lot of these talking points and things that are against women, I want men to be careful because I watch vlogs now, right? I'm watching a vlog and this girl is talking about her being in the lounge and she was like, he sound like a dude that bashed black women on YouTube, right? She was joking, but it's getting to the point where these conversations are getting so popular. That's how it's being perceived. So that you're not even going to be able to say your strife with women in general based on your delivery. If they're doing this in the gym, they're going to start censoring the manosphere itself in those conversations just to kind of say to minimize women from feeling a certain way. You're not even going to be able to give your opinion. So I just don't know if y'all aware of that, but that is also in the workings to where you're not even going to be able to say certain things, just like the LGBT group. If it seems like you are what did they accuse Trump of? Like rallying up some sort of war. Like that's what they're trying to make it seem like. Men are always toxic, and if men have any type of view, it's as if they're rallying up hate towards the other gender. So I think we got to be careful what we say and how we say it. It seems.
Is it going to come a time where men are just going to stop flirting with women, and it's going to be upon the women now to start approaching men?
They've
I
been
think we're there.
We're there.
We are there. Mm-mm.
We're there.
Yeah.
Again, but we so woke, we so damn sleep, and now we're ass backwards because that's for me. You know, I'm with my rose. That's a man is supposed to approach me. I'm not. And I've done my approaching before when I maybe had a little liquid courage, but I prefer someone to come to me. Hey, baby, hey, what's going on? You looking cute in that pic, baby. Thank you or whatever. I don't want to be the one. Hey, baby, you looking good over there in them jeans, baby. That's not what I want to do. I don't think any woman wants to do that. So now we're going to go back to 7th grade dances where all the guys on this side and all the girls on this side, and everybody's scared to say something.
Well, last night I went to dinners with some relatives, and this was something talking about how one of the relatives flirted like about 50 years ago, that they would be out somewhere and she would see a guy that she was interested in, and she would walk by and accidentally step on his shoe, say, "Oh, I'm sorry. Do you have a brother named so-and-so?" Knowing that
hey, don't step on nothing over here. Don't act
exactly. You can't even do that no more because I don't get you ganked.
Don't step on my shoes.
No, I ain't gonna. Let me see.
But it was coy, and then they would strike up a conversation like that. You know, something
that'll work though. Depending on how you look.
Stepping
like
on the shoe?
Even the clumsiness still works.
No, this is what works. You drop something of yours. You drop something and see if he picks it up. Now, see, I've done that, and that worked for me. I dropped, and he was like, "Here, babe, you dropped this." Thank you so much. I appreciate you. How sweet.
The bend and snap, Courtney.
Ooh, I used to get him with that hook and swinger. I used to drop something.
Clumsy only works when you attractive. If you not attractive, these little things don't work. They gonna be like, oh, you need help with your groceries. Is not the everyday person. It look like she got it. Versus an attractive woman who, you don't got to move your furniture. So it is certain things that still work. Like I want to believe like still wearing the satin gown with the incense and the candles still work. Like women aren't doing that, but the old things that our mothers and grandmothers did, it still worked. The bend and snap. Oh, I'm sorry, I called the wrong number. Did you call? Because you wanted to call, but you didn't want to seem like you. All that stuff.
Okay, it's the old damsel in distress. Help me. Oh, thank you so much. That never gets old.
Or if you say, I was thinking about getting that in the grocery store. Have you tried that before? Is it good? Oh, thank you.
Grocery store is perfect. You ever seen them in certain departments? You like, I didn't want to know there. You reach over, excuse me, and you smell good. Oh, girl. That's the thing. I don't even think women wear perfume today. Do they?
I don't think so either. And that's what, man, let me tell you. The girls are getting it all wrong. It don't take all that. But you're absolutely right. The whole, oh, excuse me, let me get that little lingering effect. That's why I don't understand women that are single that want to be with someone or find someone. go out, get yourself together, smell good. Let that little linger, because I know I've done that before. It's like, you said, what's that, girl?
And you can be fully clothed.
You
Oh,
can.
what? I didn't even notice. Oh, it's just something. I don't know.
Oh,
Even sitting somewhere, like it could be a nice little spot where men may go. Like I'm in Vegas. Maybe it's not a bar. Maybe it's different places. Sit by yourself and look attractive. That's it.
That's it. Oh, I was about to say that because I totally agree. So if a woman is wanting to meet a guy, the easiest way is to get cute, smell good, go to a nice bar or a steakhouse that has a bar,
Cigar
go by
lounge.
yourself, sit at the bar. And I would say around the time to do this is not like late night or dinner time. It's after work. So
Happy
you can
hour.
go between happy hour, between 4 and 7. Sit at a bar. Get your little drink, sip on that or something, and get an appetizer. It works every time.
And be some. What is that? I mean, I'm not even flirting. I've been out at restaurants and I'll see some. I said, "What is that you're eating?" I said, "That looks really good."
Yeah. Works every time.
Make conversation, because then even if they were looking at you, like I don't know if y'all do it. You ever pass somebody and you like, I know he looking at my ass, right? Kind of like waiting to exhale, like I hope he not watching me.
Turn around. Oh, he's watching.
Yeah. Like even if it's like now women are gonna have to, you don't have to necessarily shoot your shot or whatever, but you do have to figure out the signals of the type of man that may want to talk to you. So because we're in a time where women are effing it up, you got to see, okay, he's looking, he may want to approach me. Let me, like TT said, start a conversation so he know it's okay. So he knows my attitude is inviting. Like it's been times where I done been out and about. This is how men try to talk to me, because I have a resting bitch face I cannot control sometimes. So if you are out and they're like, you should smile, I'm gonna tell y'all, depending on what he look like, it offends me. Like I'm being honest. Like,
wait a minute, how do you get offended?
Because if you're not attractive, it's harassment. Like what?
Okay, because I've seen memes like that they'll have an attractive guy and someone that's considered not attractive say the exact same thing, and women are more prone to someone that is attractive saying it to someone. It can be the exact same thing.
Melvin cannot tell you, Courtney, smile. Why you not smiling?
I don't get offended though.
No, I'm offended because now you're flirting with me. And does it look like I would talk like you've ever had a situation where it's like, bro, do it look like we would like, I'm not saying I'm Beyonce, but damn.
But you can still be nice.
Yes.
No. That's what I'm saying. That's what I was about to give it another part. Sometimes being nice or just putting on those signals, it make men follow you to your car. Like, oh, she was nice, because they're not used to women doing that. Like, we're not in a time where it was like, hello, my lady, tip your hat off. We're not there no more. Most women are just walking around with resting bitch face. So what I'm saying is, because that's more normal than women like just smiling, and you're the one just all jolly smiling, they think that you want them. So to not even send that signal, it's like, no, I'm okay. Can I get your gas? No, I'm okay. Thank you. Like I get really short, but depending on if I want you to talk to me, I'm being honest. If I want you to talk to me and stuff like that, I'll be more friendly. I'll be more inviting. Like I'm just, hey.
Let me ask you a question, Lucky. Being in this space and hearing guys speak more about how they feel, and even like this smiling topic, because I know that's been hot here a while ago. It definitely was. Are you more cognizant of how you interact with people, especially men, when you're out?
Absolutely.
I find myself that way where, now that I understand and a lot of problems that men are saying, I make sure that, how I approach and how I look or how I speak to people has been different. So, I've always been, thank you, I appreciate you, but now I'm more looking at people in the eye, wanting to make sure they understand that I see them. So even if they're not attractive or not, for me, I'm like, well, I thank you for having the courage at least to say something to me. Thank you. I appreciate you for even taking the time out to ask me for help. So I'm more looking at them and say, I see you. I might not want you, but I see you. And I can appreciate the time and effort that you at least take out to shoot your shot. Because are the handsome men doing it too? Turn up, Lucky.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on where you get gas too. Like, all those things matter, but let's just use that as an example. Because I'm so used to having a resting bitch face, it is a defense mechanism because I don't just want everyone approaching me, but it's also a downfall because then no one will approach you, right? But the thing is that I do like when I'm not realizing I have resting bitch face, when it's just like, damn girl, you mean? And then he fine. Like, no, I'm not. Hey. It's just certain stuff. You know what I'm saying? That was just an example, but the downfall about I've been a person where I just be hi, just jolly. I have gotten more negatives, and I'm saying more negatives because it's like the average man does not experience, especially Black women, being nice. So when you are just nice, it seems like you want more than just being nice. Like, what's wrong with me just being nice, listening to you, having a good I don't discriminate towards anybody I have a conversation with. I can learn something, right? But because I'm so nice, or don't think that about yourself. It's like, oh, she must like me. Well, now you come to my car. Thank you for getting my door. Okay. Well, where are you going after this? Or it's like you're not taking the hint that was not, I'm just being nice. So that's what I'm saying. Sometimes it's a protection because you don't just want every man coming back to you with your car. Like, we've seen a lot of situations where men can't take rejection. So you don't want to be the one in that situation either. So it's a lot more easier to just pick and choose when you want to smile. Like, it sounds bad, but pick and choose when you want to be friendly. Yeah, he looks nice in the grocery store. I'm awake because he not, you know what I'm saying? It's just certain things where you do have to pick and choose because of the situation.
Do you think it's because you feel uncomfortable being honest with the man that I'm not interested?
I'm just never
feel comfortable telling a guy I am not interested in you. Thank you for that, but I'm not interested. But thank you.
Do I feel comfortable? No.
So
Well,
that's why. So,
nowadays
but
you can't do
that's
that.
what it is. You're not comfortable, and there's a lot of women because I feel you where I'm not comfortable to be honest to let you know. So therefore, I'm just gonna just have a roll in my face. Gone. I'm cool.
Well, I'm
Instead of
always,
being
Why
I'm
can't
always
you take a hint
conveniently
though?
engaged.
Like, why can't you take a hint? Like, what is
It
using waves
it
in my
doesn't matter
inbox
why
is
they can
2000?
take it, but again, that's why I would always be engaged, always. So I was always had some on my right hand, and if I felt like a guy that was going to talk to me that I don't want to talk to, I would conveniently switch it to my left hand. I'm sorry, I'm engaged. So so it wouldn't have to be like I don't want to.
That don't work. I'm trying to tell y'all that is the oldest. They be like, you just saying that because you don't want to talk to me. What's your number? No matter why I'm saying I have a girlfriend. I don't like men. What? That mean you ain't been with the white one as you're still following me as I get whatever the reason, sir, the answer is no. You know what I'm saying? Like, why do I have to figure out a way to tell you no? Can't you read the room? Like, that's where I start to get like, why I gotta just say, no, it's okay. You ever had somebody asking you for change? No, I don't have it. Hey, I just want a little. No, okay. It's like you don't even accept no, just asking for change. So just in my experience, it's best to either, have a resting bitch face or, just act like I don't hear you. I'd have been deaf a few times.
Okay. So if you think that's what we do, particularly in our community where they say Black women don't seem very approachable, why is it that we do that as a defense mechanism, but other cultures don't? Why is it just
How
us?
do we know they don't?
Well, from what we're told, and this is just men, it's women, y'all, you don't smile at us. You don't seem approachable. You seem like you always have a chip on your shoulder and an attitude. where they go to another set of cultured women, and I'm in the States, they seem more approachable. They seem nicer to talk to. So why is it that we have this resting bitch face and we get deemed not approachable, but others are, but yet other culture men not as persistent as ours? Like,
I've heard
why
that.
why is it with us?
You know what? I've heard that, but I think that would be, I'm gonna yield that to TJ only because that there has been cultures, I don't want to, say nothing wrong, but there's a specific demographic of cultures that they have been rude. They are known to be rude, even to me. Like, they don't say excuse me, they bumping you with their bag. They always have resting bitch face, better than us. So when we say that sometimes people are only friendly with their own culture, you know what I'm saying? So if you're saying those women are nicer to those men, it could be the way that we maybe thinking, the way we are taught to think about our own Black men, the things that we experience, the things that we see. Like, I've seen it enough, and even had a sister who got shot at for not giving a guy her number, had a cousin who got harassed and violated from not giving a guy her number, from leaving environments. So I can't ignore that, especially it comes into sometimes with our men. So I don't know. I think it's more so maybe our experience, maybe where we go when we meet these men. Like, a lot of those situations happen leaving a club or somewhere popular. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily a restaurant. But I can't ignore that, because the lady in New York, she was just going to the grocery store and a man bit her, followed her because she didn't want to give him her number. They were Black. So I think it's more so a defense mechanism and us not wanting to send the wrong signal. So in their culture, I guess it would be for them to tell us, how often does that happen?
Yeah. I just it's an interesting conversation, because I think when I think about resting bitch face, I think of the movies like Clueless, or those of entitled girls, that snobby attitude, like, how dare you want to talk to
As
me?
if.
Yeah, right, whatever. So I think of that when I think of the resting bitch face and stuff. But those women, I feel like, are entitled. But then when you come to us and we say it's a defense mechanism, what we're defending ourselves for not
Right.
attractive men to
We
approach.
don't trust our men. That's the thing. We
Well, I
defending
think,
ourselves against our own men that we don't trust. The same way they have defenses against their own Black women that other cultures don't have. So I think it's a breakdown. But go ahead.
I think of my own family though, and thinking about the women in my family, and maybe because I don't know, they were raised by men, I don't know. But I think, before it was term resting bitch face, I can think about, well, yeah, I had it, because my daughter's friends would say, Danielle, your mom looked mean. And then the same thing that my friends would say about my mom, the same thing. So again, the women, I don't know if it was just our plight, the way that we experienced life, in a sense that our lives in general were harder. You know what I mean? The circumstances of our lives were harder, so it made us harder. We would not, light and airy, or if they want to say feminine or whatever. I think the circumstances of many of our lives are harder, so we weren't just smiling all the time. So maybe that is it. And again, I remember, way before I met my husband, that, in my 30s and maybe 40s, they would say, you look unapproachable. And I wasn't aware that I was looking that way. And interestingly enough, a lot of times I would think that I was thinking I'm looking serious and confident, but what I was doing in turn was looking mean and unapproachable.
So let me ask you, do you guys, and I'm, out in Vegas, there's a lot of different cultures. Do you guys, how often do you see a Oriental woman, or, just smiling and just happy and just, hi? Like, how often do you see that? How often do you see a Nigerian woman just, hi, how's it going? Like, because it's kind of like we can highlight us, but let's just really assess other cultures of women that we may come across. How often are they jolly and just speaking? You're muted. Courtney, you're muted.
My bad. I was thinking. I'm just kind of thinking like maybe I don't see, like maybe Asian women just, hey, hi, just in the grocery store or that, but I don't hear their men saying that they don't do that to them.
That's the difference.
So even if I might have a resting bitch face, I'm not doing it to my own people at least. So maybe that's the difference, because I've never heard an Asian man, daggum Asian women got an attitude problem. I never heard a man say that. I've never heard Nigerian men saying that, man, they're saying it now, I think, with Nigerian men, and because our culture travels, but just in general, I've just never heard any other culture of men say that about their women.
I would just say I don't really speak to many other cultures about their women, so I'm just going off of what you say, like, and what people are saying. I don't speak to them. So I know we kind of went off the thing, but I guess to say, how could women, or in general, just be more nicer, just more happy, just smiling at men? Like, that seems like that's the issue. But also, you're going to have women who say what I just said, like, I don't want him thinking I want his number. I don't want. So what is it like? Do we kind of help men know just because she's smiling at you don't mean she want to talk to you? Like, I don't, like, how do you fix that?
Well, maybe thinking that everybody want to talk to you. Just because someone's nice doesn't mean they want you. So I think if we get into getting out of ourselves and thinking that we the shit all the time, and maybe he just wants to be nice. Because I know I've been in a situation where I thought someone was flirting with me and they wasn't. Broke my face. I was like, look at him trying to like on me. Nope. Didn't want nothing to do with me. I was like, ooh, reality check. So maybe we need to stop thinking that people just want us and that men just can't be nice.
Or I would say, if you see a woman and she's looks like she's unapproachable, I mean, we not just like if she looking like Miss Trunchbull, no, but if she just got a regular face on, because you don't want to be smiling, grinning like a mindless idiot. Just, everybody will think you crazy.
I mean, no, okay. So when you're out, Lucky, because when I'm not just walking around.
Yeah, like
I'm not just walking around like that all day. However, I'm not walking around like this.
And I've seen women that look like that. I'm like, I wouldn't even want to approach her.
I speak to those women on purpose, whether we in Sephora, how you doing? And because I know you mad, you gotta speak back, right? But then I always get, hey, how you doing? And it shocks me because you are a nice person. So maybe men should understand, like, our women just, maybe I'm saying men should probably take the step. If you want to approach or just speak, say, how you doing? Say something nice and see if she responds happily or if she responds rudely. Then you kind of know. I don't know.
I just think it's, just get out of the defense mechanism. Like, why can't we just stop? Why I don't want this and I'm defending mine. And it's like, okay, but you carrying that, then you don't know who over on the other side looking at you and you looking unapproachable, or they're seeing your interaction with someone and your blessing was right next door and looking at you how you're responding or treating another individual. And just let the guard down. Why do we always have our guard up?
That's the point I was saying. There is a guard there. We don't just want to look. We didn't always look like that. Like, that's what I said. We talking about the generation that would tip your hat off side to side when we are so far past that. Like, you be seeing old women across the street. Ain't nobody helping her. But I know you better get across the street before this light turn green, lady. You know what I'm saying? That's us now. So it's like we're so detached from each other. Like, even when you see things happening on the side, like, we can record you and say and take you back to social media like they're doing, but we don't actually interact with you, you know what I'm saying, in real time, because it's like now we're scared of each other. The men scared to say something because I don't want to catch this case. The women scared to give too much because I don't want to, you know, like we're literally scared of each other. And I think the defense is not going to go away. We're not going to just make all these Black women want to speak to men or just smile at men. We're not. So the only thing I can think of is, you know, if she's pretty and you want to talk to her and she may be too busy, maybe she had a bad day. You know what I'm saying? Like there'd be a lot of stuff going on in people's heads as to why they are showing up in the world the way they're showing up in the world. So I would say there's nothing wrong with just speaking. Was she gonna call the police on you because you spoke? You know what I'm saying?
That'd be the next thing that you see.
Yeah.
Let me get to some of the super chats. Better you, I may look in the gym also because someone is doing an exercise I haven't seen at all or with a new twist. I've picked up a few exercises like that. And this is going back to we were talking about the TikToker in the gym. To be fair, recording yourself working out is often done to observe your form later. But most of these women doing gym videos are cap. I agree. What is going on? Dre Blanco, thank you so much for the 20 ball. Y'all funny. Shout out to you, Courtney, and the panel. I'm just here to support your channel. Thank you so much for the support. And Me University, thank you so much for the support as well. It was women attempting to keep their emotions in check.
I think you had a couple of other ones before then too, Courtney. I think.
See you, Me University, by remembering Black women were the most desired. That's interesting. Because I think desirability and men wanting you is also a level of them feeling comfortable and you being approachable. That's why I think a lot of men are talking about they want a woman that's agreeable, and that submissive term. They just want a woman to be nice. And I think nice women are attractive. I think a smile sounds cliches, but a smile is something pretty that a woman does. It's just pretty when a woman smiles to me.
Oh, it depends on where her teeth.
Well, I mean, all that facts, but just you smile. You know, like look at you. It's just. Look how you look. How pretty are you this way with the laughing and you're enjoying yourself?
I am mean as, let me tell you, Courtney, I am nice, but I am mean because I be so friendly and even transitioning or just having one lifestyle to the next, right? I started to think you can interact with men the same way with women.
Yeah.
You really can't, because if I can count how many men go back and say, you know, Lucky was trying to talk to me. No, I was just nice. And I was getting a burger and I was on the phone and was chit-chatting. Like, it was nothing. But you can't even be nice because they take it as she was trying to talk to me. You know, I was on the phone. Like, it's not that. So now it's like, dang. So one man could spoil it just like one woman could spoil it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm nice depending on who you ask.
Okay, and I get it. I don't know. I think that who you are is going to always shine through. And if you're generally a nice person, I mean, there's some people that you have to set boundaries with. There's some people that you got to, you know, I was nice, but you're taking my niceness for granted. You think that because I'm nice, you can do this and that to me and you're not going to have any repercussions of it. So there are people that take advantage of nice people. I'm not going into saying just be nice and smile to every Tom, Dick, and Harry and let them abuse you because you're so sweet. No, boundaries I think is important. But if you're nice, you're nice. What's up, TJ? Not the church finger child, TJ.
World Class says sometimes their teeth look like 8 knuckles. Really?
This is a good thing. Dre said, be kind, not nice. Do you guys know, or do you think there's a difference between being kind and being nice?
I was going to ask you to tell me the difference so I can know which how to be kind. What is
Okay.
it just like a human? I understand you're a human, and I'm, you know what I'm saying? Just a human experience. Is that being kind? Like, you know.
Well, TJ, I'll let you. Do you think, or is there a difference between being kind and being nice?
I think kindness is just a inherent, just humanity, basically. That's what I'm thinking. Nice is what I think is superficial, but I'm like, let's go to Webster and see what they say. So but that's what I think.
Mm-hmm. I've heard that before. And especially when I think people are talking about like alpha men and how it's not attractive to be a nice person, but to be kind. And what I took from that was a kind person generally helps people and want people to do well. They're, generous, I guess, at times, but that's a kind person. A nice person, it will allow you to walk over them to make sure your feelings are fine. A nice person will maybe hold off saying something to consider just your feelings and negating them. So I think that a lot of times we think about niceness. Sometimes that nice has a tone of weakness in it. And a kind person is, I'm kind, I want you well, but you're not going to impede on my feelings. And me telling you, no, I don't want to talk to you. The way that you say it, but I don't think that's necessarily mean is being straightforward. I think being
That's
kind
what
is
I'm
you're also
saying
not
here.
negating your feelings as well.
That's what I'm saying here. It says kind is basically a state of being, showing, proceeding from benevolence, a nature, a countenance, whereas nice is pleasing, agreeable, delightful.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. So that's what I got. Okay. So let's see what else has been going on in the news all today. Let's see. Mm-hmm. So there has been backlash with Kourtney Kardashian. She has been criticized for the new vagina gummies, purely misogynistic and anti-feminism. So I'm going to play this. She made a video on her IG, and she has a brand of gummies coming out, and the gummies is for women, for their vagina to have a smell of delight and also a taste of delight.
I will be ordering.
Hold on. This was on her TikTok. Let me pull it up. Not her TikTok, I'm sorry, her IG. Let's see. And I'm not gonna play because I know they probably stream it, but this is on her. Hold on. And this is about her gummies, and this was just, and let me see what it says on there. Hold on. Okay, so vagina health is such an important part of a woman's overall well-being and not talked about enough, which I agree, which is why we are so excited to launch this. I don't know why I can't read. Let me make it bigger.
It says, give your vagina the sweet treat it deserves. Can you see it now?
Yeah, I can see it. There we go. All right. So she's been coming under a backlash. Let me pull up and see what the people have been saying. She's under criticism from women's health experts who slam the celebrities, saying that these gummies are incredibly problematic. This called Let Me Purr, and that's the name of the gummies. Some of the women that are saying that she should get rid of these gummies or try to say something else, they're saying all vaginas have an individual smell and taste, which will vary according to your menstrual cycle. They told the Daily News that a discharge is important for some functions of the vagina because it means healthy balance of bacteria is present in the vagina. It is purely misogynistic and anti-feminist to suggest that vaginas are somehow unclean or or dirty because their natural smell doesn't fit in with the idea perception of what mainstream media says on porn. It contributes to the objectification of women, depersonalizing them and their genitalia and reducing them to sexual objects. Thoughts?
You go first.
I think it's not so much the gummies. I just don't think they like her. And I'm not a super Kardashian fan myself, but I don't see anything wrong with it, you know. I mean, and here's the thing. Let's just keep it 1,000.
They're saying there's a community of women who smell like fish, and they don't. That's what I heard. Our vaginas stink, so we this goes against us because we can't use it. That's what they're saying.
But then how many vaginal washes do we have? I mean, so if we're talking about vaginal health, they have vaginal washes, you know. So I think it has to do with the fact that it's just Kardashian, me personally.
That's what I think. I love Courtney.
That's what I think.
I love Courtney. I can't. Why are we so mad at everything? Like, shut the fuck up. If you don't want your vagina to... So first of all, you want men to eat it. She created something that makes it pleasurable to eat it. You got a problem because your pH balance don't fit the stipulations to be able to eat it, which means you should change your diet, which means you should eat something that promotes better vaginal health. She creates something that promotes better vaginal health, but it's anti-feminist. Like, we give a shit what feminists say, but it's anti-feminist because no, this goes against us. We don't want edible boxes. That's what I heard. Anybody else heard something different?
No. Well, they go on to say, anyone who tells you that you need to change the taste or smell of your vagina is working with the patriarchy. And what is wrong with people? How is it misogynistic for you to want your stuff to smell good? And if you're into cunnilingus, then you want it to taste a certain way. How is that problematic and working with the patriarchy if you want to have it pleasable? Why is that a problem to get a gummy specifically for that?
Well, Pete just put it in there. She said that they're mad that she got that she getting it back, and the truth of the matter, they're mad that they didn't think of it.
But they also mad that it's something for a man. Let's really talk about it. If this has something to do with lesbian relationships and she was specific and she was with a woman, they would promote it. Because what else do lesbians do besides lick?
Oh,
so if we talking about men, it's something that goes in line that men would like. Men want their woman's vagina to smell good. And men also, if you're into that, you want to put your mouth on her, you want it to taste not tart, taint, or sweaty. You don't want none of that. So I don't understand it. What it seems like it's going in line with what men would want, how men be making jokes like your pH, but you know what I'm saying? Anything to tear it apart on top of the fact that she's a Kardashian. If this was another person who had a different sexuality, if Sam Smith created something to make the sperm more pleasurable when ejaculating and he's in a homosexual relationship, it would be no problem. Like, they make a problem because you're heterosexual and this is something to please your male partner. Like, that's it. I don't know.
There's a lot of things for women out there for smells and odors. There's a lot of articles that's been written over time on how to, and this is even with men, to how to make them taste better and how to make women taste better. And it's don't eat asparagus because that has taste that's a little sour. But for women and men to eat like pineapples or more fruits. So it's been to the dawn of day, people have known or wanted to tell you what you should eat and what you should not eat to help the smell and the taste of what you have going on with that. So I don't see why it's a big problem now that she has a gummy. Now it's misogynistic, and now you're objectifying women because there's some women that actually care to smell fresh and care to taste fresh.
I mean, you make music talking about eating it all day. The least you could do is make it taste like a fruit. I mean, also, if you think about it, they mentioned discharge. You're gonna discharge regardless unless something's going on and you should go see a doctor. But it's just kind of like the discharge itself is gonna have a more pleasurable, pure taste. It didn't say it's gonna be like candy. I mean, if it is, I'm for sure buying it. But what I'm saying is, it's not, they talking about discharge and stuff like that. Your body is gonna do that naturally unless something's right. I don't care what you're really not supposed to dish. I didn't hear these people.
I was about to say something about that. Y'all go ahead, because I was about to say something about douching.
No, you're gonna say it more politically correct than me.
So there was a whole strand of douches back in the day.
I'm old enough to remember.
It was that vinegar squeezy thing, and with the long tip, and you insert it and squish it, and it's supposed to clean all of it out. And
or you had a bag that you would hang.
That big old bag. Man, look, grandmama and them had the big bag, right? Looked like a colostomy bag, and used to have it hanging on the door in the bathroom.
Yes.
I used to see that. I was like, what the hell you doing with that big old bag? What is that?
With the long hose and stuff.
Yes. And she'd be like, girl, you better clean that stuff out. You got to keep it clean. And I'm like, okay, girl.
And then they throw you all the way off. Now you got a yeast infection.
All off. But it was still the idea. We was doing it wrong. However, it's cleaning out yourself, wanting yourself to smell good and fresh. Now look, okay, I have walked by some women that I've like, ooh, Jesus, what is going on?
And left it in the bathroom. Like,
that is the worst. Going to the bathroom after someone just left the stall, a woman, and she smelled rank.
Have you said something? Have you said something before?
To someone?
Like, okay, if you see the person leave out the stall and you going in and you smell it, do you instantly say something?
I mean, I've said a woo before, so I've gone in and be like, oh, Jesus, Lord.
I've said something.
What have you said? The demon in that vagina.
You gotta catch me on a good day. Because it was so bad, y'all. And I said, damn, you didn't left your pussy in the stall. And then she was like, oh no, it wasn't me. It was you. You just came out of here. Like,
and I smell you.
Yeah. And she tried to say it wasn't her and all of that. Girl, it was you. So I went all the way back to the handicap stall. But yeah, I don't like that. And you need to see, that would have been a perfect commercial. And then at the end, try our gummies.
So you don't have to have that fishy smell after you pull up your pants after you use the bathroom. That is the worst.
Because he gonna tell you, if he the right kind of man and this his first time and he pulled them down and he's green smoke, he's going to tell you. I mean, I would have. Yeah. You know when you're watching a cartoon and they stink and it's that
garbage, the garbage smells like garbage.
Exactly.
Green.
Mm-hmm.
Austin Holloman.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, with her, I think they're taking it to the extreme. Now, whether it works or not, I don't know. This is I don't know the testings, but I do know that there's nothing misogynistic about a woman wanting herself to smell and taste good. I don't know. That's hilarious. Let me read this. Gordon turned into Ric Flair after smelling that woman. I did. Woo! Yes, I did.
You had to pray, Lord Jesus, please.
I was like, man, this is wrong. We could be, look, women, you would think women's supposed to be the clean ones, and our bathrooms are not like the men's, but women are nasty.
Our bathrooms are worse.
Especially the time of month that people don't.
That little trash can that
trash can. And the smells.
Yeah. So
So
I think
I'm all for it.
this is
All
anti
Mhm.
menace. I think menace is a word. I don't know if because you have feminists. Now you have a group called Menace. They're combating the feminists. This is anti menace. This is anti men. If you don't agree with this, I feel.
Yeah. Well, this is anti yourself because again, if you want somebody down there, you make it enjoyable.
And let's not play like they don't have these flavored gels. Come on now.
I've bought some. I mean, I bought. I got sprays and.
Come on. Let's not act like
And
that.
it's a little trick. Shout out to Candy Burris. Candy Burris said before she interact with her husband, you take some sugar, a little bit of sugar on the tip of your finger. You know, you lick, make sure it's in there. And when you put it around the rim of your vagina, as you guys are engaging and your juices come out, it makes it sweet as well. So
she putting sugar down there?
Sugar girl, sugar.
What? That sounds like it might be a little start an infection. Well, or maybe
I mean, if
not.
you could put whipped cream,
whipped cream and chocolate and stuff like that down there.
Yeah, but they got a problem with gummies though. Come on now.
I'm just thinking the disgust that you putting whipped cream and chocolate down there, but you smelling like Captain D's. Smell like a whole seafood buffet, and you want to put some whipped cream?
Like chocolate on sardines or something. Yuck.
He nasty for doing it. It's his fault. He nasty for even putting whipped cream on there, acting like he don't smell that.
You know what? I don't think men tell women.
No, he gonna sleep with her regardless. That's the problem.
If you're Austin Holloman, you will.
What does that got to do?
Yeah, because he's talking about black women's pH. He's talking about all the time. Remember?
Oh, has he?
Yeah, he said
he
the
did
pH
say something
off for
that
Western women.
some women had some off pH balance.
Yeah, he said it.
And they could. We need to get these gummies to the people. That might be something. She should have the passport bros over there with these gummies. Ma'am, your man is leaving. Get you a gummy.
That's good. No, then they're gonna say, no, she's anti-American because she's trying to say all of our poom pooms stink. But look, when the baby said it at the concert, no woman said something. When he said, shout out to the ladies who smell whatever he said, nobody said nothing. They only got mad when he said something about the other group. I just wanted to point that out there.
That is true. Nick Cannon. He said it too. So it's obviously a thing. Nick Cannon said this, and Nick Cannon know all kids he got with different women. And he said, you know, some of y'all smell like Austin the Crouch been down there.
You could tell what do you eat all day? Like how much water do you drink? And also, I want to believe if you're over a certain weight, it's no way you getting in there good. Like it's no way you even getting to the crack of your ass. So if you a certain weight, I know it's like a snail trail. You know,
you got nooks and crannies.
Yeah, no.
Okay. So these women with these BBLs and all these big old booties, that's just ridiculous. How are they cleaning themselves? And these women with these god awful nails, how can you clean yourself?
It's known to stink. Like Kanye West, like put it out there a long time ago. He said he hate that Kim had a BBL because her booty has a smell. Like I've heard this. Suki Hana's boyfriend, where her ex-fiance, he was cheating on her with slimmer natural body women, and she like, how you cheating on me? He was like, sometimes I like a natural body because the BBLs, like I'm talking about the giant, you know, the big booties that they want to get.
Yeah,
it has a smell, and it's not that they're selling it with a smell. It's just that you have to try a new hygiene regimen because you're not getting to it. Sit in some water. Also, they're not shaving the hair in their butt.
They're not.
Yeah. So you getting a Brazilian, but your butt got a ponytail, which holds the smell. So, that's what they saying.
Okay. So Is it the extra hair that's holding on to the smell? Because there are some men that like hair down there.
Then he
Does
like
hair, does that hold into the smell, or that's an internal thing?
hair holds odor, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, it depends on how long it is. I'm just,
I ain't never known nobody with no long booty hair.
But
What are you
They
talking about?
if she not cutting it at all, like it gotta be as long as her pubic
No,
hair.
your butt hair is not the same as your pubic hair in the front.
So it don't grow. Yes, it does grow. Like you
It
should
don't
shave
grow
it off.
like that. Look, it don't get all thick and bushy in your butt. It does
You
not.
You ain't never seen a bushy booty?
No. What kind of bush? No, I have not.
I
What
have.
kind of bushy booty?
I have.
They open their butt cheek and look like an afro poking out.
If you've ever watched triple X type of stuff and you just be skimming through, you will see something that will surprise you. Where men who like the bush, it don't stop at her vagina. It keeps going around the rectum. That's why they have to get waxed in their butt and all of that. Like it holds a smell. So if your butt grows and you trying to clean it, you ain't cleaning it well, you gonna have tissue balls, you gonna have all kind of stuff in your butt. Like you should get rid of it.
Well, I know the ball. I get that. Just paper towel stuck in your butt.
It can only do that if it's too long. Now I'm not talking about like long, but you know, like it's too long. It shouldn't
That's
be
something new. I've never seen somebody's hair grow as thick as the front as the back. And I shave, I wax, and I do that. And my butt hair doesn't look like my vagina hair.
Because you're used to taking care of it. We talking about the women who have never shaved or waxed their butt. That's a tough spot to be.
I just send me where I really want to see that. Can you please send me if you see next time you see a video of someone's butt with that thick of a hair that it needs to be in a ponytail? I really want to, because I've never seen that, nor ever have I heard it. Okay, so please, and this is just me doing research. Okay, because I ain't never seen no butt hair as thick and long as your vagina hair.
But that's why I think it stinks. I think it stinks because they're not waxing it and they're not also sitting in bath water.
Well, I just think it stinks because they can't get to it. Because, you know, when you clean yourself, it's from front to back, and that butt too big, you can't get from the tip to the bottom. So the rooter to the tutor. That's what I think.
You can't get
you can't get back there. You know, you get the front and you got to swoop it out in the back. You can't because your butt too big and your nails too long.
The little squeeze thing you get from the hospital when you have a baby. That's why you keep it. You keep it. But when you get, you know what I'm talking about, the little
I'm learning too much about you right now. So you have an apparatus that you use to clean your butt?
Like you what? Okay, y'all, we all got kids up here. You know when you had your baby in the hospital, they gave you the little squeeze thing you put water in and you squeeze and I just keep it because
it's almost like a little douche thing, actually.
Yeah, you just keep it so when you use every time you urinate or use the bathroom, I use baby wipes, flushable wipes.
Okay.
The spray thing, because even when you just use tissue, like it keeps urine. Like you don't just get rid of the urine, you know? So you just have to. It's not an enema. See, Bethany, you know what I'm talking about.
But it looks like that. It looks like it.
Yeah, it's like a little squirt bottle that they give you, and then you just got to keep it washed. And the average woman, I'm sure the average woman listening, like, what is that? Get the squirt bottle so you can always use fresh water and soap every time you use the bathroom or in between, because down there it sweats. Like,
or get a bidet. That's something else.
Well,
anyway,
yeah. Now y'all getting fancy with the bidet.
Well, you know, World Class said, what is happening right now?
I don't know. I do not know.
This is an insight to lady conversation.
Well,
I guess we get back on topic.
Okay. Send me that video because I really want to see someone's butt hair that bushy, because I didn't think it could grow like it's usually thin hairs. All right. So, what else is going on in the news this week? Well, TJ Holmes is always in the news recently, the past couple of months with his indiscretion. And so now TJ Holmes is saying that he is upset about his predator portrayal after the alleged workplace affair. Now, what do you guys have to say about TJ Holmes and everything? Do you guys know the story? I'm sure if you've not been living under a rock, you know the TJ Holmes story.
I would say he kind of played himself. Like, I'm not against him using the women to leverage his career. I'm against the fact that you didn't do it right. You know, like, we could say it's wrong, but without me playing Jesus, I'm saying if he's gonna do it, I think that it wasn't just an affair with the one girl, from my understanding. It was different women at the newscasting place. So he probably was in a place where he's like, I'm really fine. And I don't know, I was just fine. I got all these women. And instead of you using it for your benefit, like now it's like working against you. You can't go to another news station. Well, maybe he can to go get a job, but that reputation is gonna follow you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think he just did it all wrong. Like, if you like the one girl, then you shouldn't have been trying to show chemistry that may have made your wife question or anything like that. You should have just played your cards right. Okay, she got me this position. I'm talking to this one because she's gonna get me in this door. I'm talking to, but how were you doing it? Like, he should have had them signing NDAs.
Yeah.
Now, were these co-workers, or were these subordinates, or were these managers above him? You know, because I know Amy, what's her name? Whatever name. She was a peer.
So let me go over for those that don't know the story. So on November the 30th, 2022, the dailymail.com published a bombshell story alleging that Good Morning America co-host TJ and Amy Robach were both married at the time during this, had a friendship that turned into a romantic relationship, and it lasted over a span, they want to say, about a year. There were rumors that they've been having an affair. And again, this was a year ago. And this is what sources told People magazine. A lot of people believe there might have been truth to it because you can see that there's a mutual affection there, but everyone ultimately chalked it up as a friendship because they always said that they were both happily married. Some sources claim that the romance didn't begin till after their respective marriages collapsed. Still, ABC pulled the duo from the air soon after the initial report, and they were formally let go on January the 27th, 2023. So that is kind of the background for those that want to get that from TJ Holmes and Amy Robach. Now, since they have been fired, there has been something else in the news about TJ. Well, first, he has been spotted recently, and this is of last week, in LA, and that looks like a Tiffany's bag. Hello. Okay. TJ Holmes spotted shopping for jewelry ahead of Amy Robach's 50th birthday anniversary. What is your thoughts, TJ?
Well, you know, I'm not surprised that they're fired. I mean, I think because it goes back to, you know, you represent the organization you work for, especially if you are a public figure. So that's to be, you know, that's a non-starter. Mm-hmm. But I think for him to be upset about it, I'm not sure why he's surprised by it, quite frankly. You know, again, because from what I saw, it seemed like they were pretty flagrant with their public displays of affection prior to the news breaking. So if you were going to be having an affair, discretion is the key word. And apparently they weren't very discreet. But what I'm understanding now, since this is broke, like you said, there are several other women. So again, not only was he disrespectful to his wife with this particular situation, it's like he's a serial cheater, disrespectful to his wife the whole time. Yeah.
So what they're saying is that TJ Holmes is distraught. He's completely distraught. They're saying that he has a daughter. He hates that he's being painted as the predator. And they're quoting this out of Page 6. He's playing a role as a happy-go-lucky guy. However, that seems to not be the case, and especially of him getting fired. And both of them got a severance pay. And what else has came out recently is that the severance pay, Amy Robach, is getting a bigger payout than TJ Holmes. Now, of course, people are saying, well, she's been there for 2 years and 2 years longer than TJ, so that's why it's bigger. But again, the servant's pay is not equal. She's getting more. So what are your thoughts on that, Lucky?
The first thing I think of is not even like the moving parts of him fraternizing. They're gonna make example out of your black ass every chance they get. They are going to make an example. I don't care. We just talked about $40,000 fine. It's a lot of, even if you think of in sports, what's that popular swimmer? Michael Phelps.
Michael Phelps.
Yeah, when he did something similar to, it was another athlete, I'm sure you know, but it was something that had to do with drugs in the system. His was kind of brushed under the rug while the other black person's was made as an example. This happens a lot, but Corey, he may not look like black, you know what I'm saying? But you are still going to get made an example out of, and we could talk about the injustice, but you are in media on a channel that is a specific group of audience, and you are carrying yourself in the most unlikely way, and you are bringing down our reputation. We're going to make sure, no, your reputation is brought down, and they're going to know that we don't tolerate your behavior. You know what I'm saying? So I think he knew the rules, so you can't really control or have a problem with how they're using to respond to what you did. I think that's the problem. It's kind of like, I know what I did, but no, sit in your own shit. The same way Will Smith had to do. Sit in it.
On February the 7th, The Cut published a report claiming there was a rampant culture of sex at ABC and alleged that TJ once had sex with a low-level associate producer in his office working the overnight shift. Little overtime loving. All right, TJ. The woman told the Code that she didn't even think about the power dynamics. In fact, she alleged that TJ actually had 3 workplace affairs while with ABC. And Amy was reportedly very close with one of the alleged conquests.
And what nationality were these women?
Now, I've seen pictures. I've seen a total of 4, which one I know was black and the other, I believe, were white. But he has a history of being a dog. And I say dog because during all this, he was married and kept up with these affairs for years. There was one woman that came out alleged that he was with her for about 3 years.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, just because we don't know what a lot of people doing, don't mean they ain't tried to leverage or do certain things the same way. But the thing is, we don't know.
Yeah.
That's the point. It's like, he did it so messy. It just seemed like he was like a kid in a candy store, and he just hearing like, oh, let me just, just have fun with all these different women. And then if your boss finds out you knocking down doors and walls and every different, no, you got to get out of here. Like, I mean, I don't work for the news place, but my job don't tolerate fraternization either. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of get the consequences. Like, you don't have a right to even say what you feel about it or what I don't like. How you were carrying yourself, your kids should see how they dad carried themselves and did not care about keeping a roof over their head or keeping their family together. Your kids should see you getting humiliated because that's the position you put yourself. You wasn't thinking about your kids when you were smiling in Becky's face.
Yeah. So the morning show has renewed for a 3rd season. Well,
is he on it?
Well, no, they fired him. So they're both fired. They got severance packages. Now, I'm sure there was a boost in ratings, but even when they came back, when we found this out and they came back for a show, I mean, they was just kind of joking and ha, 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 how was your weekend? It was a long one. I bet yours was too. And it was like, you have to have some kind of decorum. People don't believe in that anymore. Some kind of, come on.
Don't even
you're live.
Don't speak to me until we get on air. How about that?
Yeah.
Like,
Then too, I'm wondering, are they is when he said that they are painting him as a predator, are they suggesting that he may have sexually harassed these women? And here's the thing, maybe he did, because there is, again, fraternization is one thing, but again, you have to understand the dynamics of when you are fraternizing with someone that is subordinate to you. It's not seen as fraternization necessarily.
Yeah.
It's seen as abuses of your authority in that position, because sometimes they say, again, HR person, they say that the person that is a lower level may think that they could not deny you, whether it was implied or not. So, I'm just not going to accept the victim card from this gentleman, because he, I think like you said, he knew he was fine. I'm gonna have all I can have. Period.
that light skinism, he got it.
Now look, let me say this, okay? They call him predator. I don't know if predator is the right word, because I think that what people are maybe saying, that he used his position as being a co-anchor and a big name to get the low-level producers and to woo him and to sway them to get with him. So he was maybe using his power of influence on lower-level employees. But let's not get it twisted. Now, TJ Holmes is fine. Don't take much for a TJ Holmes to get anybody.
And they knew that. And so they were, whether he used his position, they were enamored by him straight up.
They never accept the victim card. But I want to say that's the wrong P. He not a predator. He a player.
Player from the Himalayas. Yeah.
So when they all find out, it's gonna be like, what's that movie? John Tucker Must Die. When they all find out,
when they
gather together, you gotta take him down. That's what it was. They all found out, and they like, oh, you too? Or when it came out that he was sleeping with the one that he good morning with, it's been a long weekend. You know what that long weekend means. You know what that means. So he like, hey. And then the other ones working there was like, well, let me go to HR and tell them. That's what it was. He hurt them. He played himself, but he was a player for sure.
This is a week ago, and he's still out and about with Amy Robach. And this is them in LA about a week ago. All that. And mind you, they're not completely divorced yet. And it's all around the town. Cute little couple, ain't it?
Girl, bye. I mean, you fired anyway. You might as well bask in your failure.
But they about dumbasses, because again, if she think he gonna be faithful to her,
she don't care about all that. She care about them long weekends. You know what I'm saying? So listen, the thing about their relationship, I can say they both had issues estranged from who they were married with. We just hear married and we think lovey-dovey. No, they had issues with their spouse. Now, I believe you should just get a divorce, right? But things don't always happen like that. You might feel, look, I'm gonna play devil's advocate.
Okay. Oh, here we go. Come on now.
Okay, so if you are going through issues at home, right, both of y'all, the door is already open for anyone else, whether you believe it or not, because you're gonna have situations you want to confide and talk about that you can't talk about with your spouse. The quickest person to come up next is your coworker. So if I'm talking to my coworker who's attractive and they are telling me stuff that my wife is not saying or my husband's not saying, or they were already friends, I think too, you kind of already know them. So it's like easy to confide in it. And then you start to not care about what the person you're married to think, because you probably already expressed how this relationship is over. I'm not happy. A lot of things that we don't know. So I'm not saying he's right, but I'm just saying situations can happen like this. where you start to not care about what people think because this person just is a breath of fresh air I ain't had in a long time. You know what I'm saying? Like, you start to just be okay with how ugly it looked. That's what I see.
But here's the thing. Again, I guess because I've lived long enough I made the mistake. I don't have my honey where I make my money.
Oh, come on. This is
okay. I don't. And again, I learned that when I met my daughter's father, and it was a scandal in and of itself because I was fraternizing and I shouldn't have. So from that one instance, I learned I'm not gonna have nothing that's gonna mess with my money. So if that was the case, like you said, they should have gone and divorced first, because again, you damn sure not going to be out in public. You understand me? Now you're messing with my money.
Messing with my money could be divorcing her sooner than I'm ready.
Well, it's really messed up now.
Cause she gonna you ever seen a woman scorn going through divorce? She gonna take you to the cleaners. Right now, I hope she drain him for everything he got. Like, I'm here for the tea, okay? I hope she take him for everything he got, and I hope he broke with the lady over there, and I want to see her not want him no more because he broke. She like, look, I didn't sign up for this.
Well, we all know the principal rule is, how you get them is how you lose them. And what a silly woman to think that they are really going to have something serious in this relationship after they both cheated on their husbands, kept it secret, tiptoeing around each other. Now, mind you, they were friends. TJ Holmes was on a show on Good Morning America when Amy brought her husband, and he was like a big time sex symbol back in the 90s with Melrose Place. If you remember, TJ, I'm not Lucky, I don't know if you remember.
And 90210
right.
too.
Yeah, so he was a big sex symbol back in the 90s. And TJ Holmes and had him on the show, and this is my best buddy, my bro. And it was like, you sleeping with his wife, sir. Trifling. I mean, so they really go ahead, Lucky. I'm sorry.
We didn't ask her she brought him around knowing that I was smashing her. What am I supposed to do? Not speak to him? What's up?
Okay. And that's why he lost his
Women
job.
do that all the time.
Family.
Women do that all the time. They be smiling. What's that Escape song? You're my little secret. But that's what I think is the downfall. That's the downfall of their relationship. It's fun when it was sneaking. Now y'all gotta really be together. It ain't that fun.
It ain't gonna be that fun because it
wasn't just you. It was other girls. It was different if it was just you. Maybe I could say you might have a chance at having a relationship one-on-one with them. But the fact that he had more than just you, no.
It's a number. So I'm interested actually to see how this relationship turns out. It ain't gonna work. I already know how it's gonna end up. But now he done lost his job. Do you think that we talked about Michael Irving and how he was able to come back from crack?
Nah, he getting demoted.
Can TJ Holmes come back
to BET or VH1? I don't think he came back to Fox or nothing. But
I'm gonna tell you, I don't think so, because why? Amy Robach don't look like his wife.
So do you think that so not only did he cheat, he cheated with a white woman. And that's what you think?
In my humble opinion, I don't think so.
I think right now with media pushing interracial relationships, I think come on Olivia Pope, we could fix this. You know what I'm saying? We fix this. You just got to do a sit down with somebody that we respect, like Gayle King or Oprah. You know what I'm saying? Do a sit down, be authentic, talk about how what was going on, some stuff in your marriage, ain't too many stuff. Do a tour. You know what I'm saying? And then talk about how she saved, and these other women, they're lying. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever the case may be. I was going through whatever. Make yourself seem like you was going through something. Get some sympathy from the women. They will accept you. Now, I don't know if you can go to Fox, but you can go to another network after
he was at ABC. But yeah, this is, let me tell you, he can come back. He could come back. Now, maybe not at Good Morning America, but could he have now his own show? Yes. He blamed it on something, addiction. He was drinking heavily. He was going through a depression. All he got to say, I was being a toxic man. If he says that, then he finally admitted he's a toxic man.
Mm-hmm.
He can come back. He has to admit an addiction. Set his apology, go on an I'm sorry tour, and write a book. He could do a reality show, and from that reality show, man, what he could have a bigger come up. Actually,
they need to see him leave her and be good for a minute, and then pop up maybe like with a black woman a little bit. Like he gonna get our respect if he pop up with Sheila, or
if he pops up with a Keisha.
I don't know if he can go all the way to Keisha. Maybe
no.
Maybe Linda or Patrice. It got to be like in between. Yeah. Then if he pop up with her and she kind of look fine, kind of like Lamar Odom did when he got with that girl after Chloe, who helped him through his addiction. He was able to get our respect because she was black, and then we believe him. I don't know why that's the case, but once you leave our community, you got to get some respect back. You need us to get you in there. So you need to talk to an Oprah or Iyanla.
You think?
Iyanla could fix it.
But OJ didn't do that.
Girl, he didn't do nothing.
But OJ didn't. I mean, and OJ is still being accepted. Is he not?
What did he do? I'm on cold, Courtney. I don't know about you.
Oh, come on now. He murked both of them. Got them good with the knife, with the glove.
If the glove don't fit, Courtney, you must have quit.
Oh, like you can't make a glove not fit your hand.
I ain't gonna never say OJ nothing. We could argue whether or not he Chloe daddy, but
no, I
don't know what OJ
Chloe
did.
Daddy was.
I don't know what OJ did.
I found Chloe Daddy. It ain't OJ. It's another man. Look just like him. Okay, but OJ is still being accepted within our community, and he's a whole killer.
A win is a win.
What is it? He's a whole killer. I don't know. I'm not responding to that. And I think OJ is taking advantage of his Negro card, and we still accept him. And no, he did that shit.
Allegedly.
He did that. He had a whole book talking about what if I did it. Come on, man.
I mean, what if?
He did that shit.
We weren't there.
All right. So let's see. All right. So TJ Holmes, word on the street is that this is your fault. You can come back, but you got to come back begging and pleading, and I'm sorry. You can get a reality show, a book deal, and probably your own show on Tubi.
At least I said BET. She said
he gonna be on Tubi.
That's that. I think he should probably be behind the scenes. Maybe he can be like a journalist, like for a magazine. You know,
somebody said in the chat that he's gonna be. Him and Amy will start a YouTube channel.
I would watch those vlogs. I would watch those vlogs.
Mm-hmm.
I would.
Look, he said host cheaters like Peter Gunz. Like I said, he could come back. Okay. So I want to talk about, because something that just passed was the Grammys. Did y'all watch the Grammys?
No.
I
seen Black China outfit, and I was like, I'm not watching this.
Well, I don't really watch the Grammys anymore because I don't listen to new music. I'm old, so I listen to old stuff. If it's after 2005, I probably don't know it for real. But the Grammys is not my thing. But there was a lot of things that was going on that I wanted to talk about. So first, let's bring up the topic of discussion. Madonna is saying, stop judging my Grammys looks. It's ageism and misogyny. Everybody loves that word.
Everybody got a group.
She looks like a fool. She looks like Marilyn Manson, straight up.
She's very demonic. I'm just, and if we're gonna be honest, she's pale. She looks like she drinks blood, but in reality, like her whole career and her in entertainment, she's very demonic. So she represents a certain group, and I love Lady Gaga. That's the bad part, but they're demonic the same. If you kind of get what I'm saying, like they have a particular message, and it's all about women or gods and all this stuff with Balenciaga, like all of that stuff kind of plays into what Madonna represents, and she's always represented that. It's getting worse as she gets older, but yeah, that's what she is. She's demonic.
She looks like Marilyn Manson.
But y'all acting like Lil' Kim ain't looking like this.
We're not talking about her right now.
We're talking about her. We gonna stay on cold, Courtney.
All right, okay, that's fine. I'm just saying it looks like they have the same plastic surgeon.
She's 64. All right. And the sad part about it, Madonna, I used to think Madonna was very pretty. She was very pretty. She looks well demonic. Yeah. And go back to Marilyn Manson. Pull up a picture of Marilyn Manson. Same look.
Yeah. So Madonna is firing back at the haters who made fun of the way her face looked at the Grammys. She says it's degrading and reeks of ageism and misogyny. The pop star posted a lengthy social media rant on Tuesday, which I'm going to pull up and we can watch, addressing the jokes that were flying around during the Grammys when she introduced Sam Smith before they performed their Unholy song, which we're going to talk about too. Madonna says folks are judging her physical appearance, are focusing on the wrong thing. Let's pull up.
Does she got a gold tooth in her mouth?
Yeah, she has a grill.
She's from Texas. No, I don't know. I don't know where she's from.
Well, let me say, because Madonna, back in the day, she was pretty and she always kind of pushed the envelope. She was iconic. Everybody in the 80s wanted to dress like Madonna and wanted to be her. Is she aging gracefully? No. Is she acting 64? No. So I don't understand why she's confused where she's getting a backlash because, lady, look at you.
What is ageism? Us saying you too old to be bent over. We don't want to see that antique ass all over that's not ageism. We are really just trying to tell you, Grandma, we don't want you doing what
it's discriminating because of her race. Not race, I'm sorry, her age.
Against. She should be discriminated against. She's too old to be doing that.
Well, she says she's not. So this is something that she posted on her She says she's not. Let me put this up. And I'm not going to play the music, but this was on her IG page. I mean, and she's 64.
What it is that she doesn't want people to remind her. Like, you could be 64. Like, this is why I love Cher. Okay? I love Cher because she ages gracefully, but she also says, I'm this age. Like, I like the older people that know they look good for their age, so they're not mad to say their age because they look good for their age. Where it's like, really? Mm-hmm. She looks her age. You get what I'm saying? She got Botox going on where she's trying to fight gravity and fight what is the inevitable, but she wants to be respected to be the room slut. Like, you can still be slutted out. You can still do all those things and acknowledge the fact that you are that old. You know what I'm saying? So, and you got don't she got grandkids?
Madonna?
Yeah, I couldn't imagine. If that was my granny, what would you say to your granny doing that?
If my grandmother was acting like this,
yeah,
I'd be like, something's mentally ill. Something's really wrong with you, Grandma. Something's wrong. Are you on drugs? Or, it's something. Well, if my mama acted this way, how's my mom? My mom's older than Madonna, and I wish my mother would.
She gonna say it's ageism? Or you gonna be like, look, lady, if you don't get out of this room right now, like, like her, that's embarrassing. Like, we should be able to say stuff to older people that are impacting the youth.
Well, Madonna says anyone making wisecracks are a part of a bigger problem. She says, our society refuses to celebrate women over the age of 45 and feels the need to punish women who, like her, are strong-willed, hardworking, and adventurous. Madonna's really digging in her heels, saying that she's never apologized for the way she looks or dresses, and she sure as heck isn't going to start now. So let's see what she's made some posts on her IG. Oh, Madonna, Lord have mercy. Let's me make this a little bigger. The world is threatened by my power and my stamina, my intelligence, my will to survive, but they will never break me. This is all the test. And she made a big old post on IG about this, saying that it was an honor for her to be introduced, blah, blah, blah. But instead of focusing on what I said in my speech, which was about giving thanks for the fearlessness of artists like Sam and Kim, many people chose to only talk about close-up photos of me taken with a long lens camera by a press photographer that would distort anyone's face. So she's blaming it on the photographer. Once again, I'm caught in the glare of ageism and misogyny. This permeates the world we live in. A world that refuses to celebrate women past the age of 45 and feels the need to punish her if she continues to be strong-willed, hardworking, and adventurous. I have never apologized for any of the creative choices I have made, nor the way I look or dress, and I'm not going to start. I have been degraded by the media since the beginning of my career, but I understand that this is all a test, and I'm happy to do the trailblazing so that all the women behind me can have an easier time in the years to come. In the words of Beyonce, you won't break my soul. You won't break my soul. Girl, it needs to be broke.
First of all, Beyonce, you are not. She will never look like that. She will never look like that at your age or be doing that. But I think it's just a fake way of trying to stop people from clowning her online for how she looks. She's starting to do Botox to look like the Jigsaw doll or Pennywise. It's like they want to look like demons. Like, I know y'all see it. Like they want this dark look, and then they don't want you to say anything about it. But we have always praised women over a certain age that look good. Always. And now the thing is, it's usually our women. Because black don't crack. So it's usually our group. They age a little bit.
Listen, that was a thing. Black don't crack. However, look at the 20-year-old black women now. Do they not look old to you?
They look old. I mean, I thought Kylie Jenner looked older than her age. She looks late 20s, 30s to me before she graduated. But that's because they're doing a lot to that's why I can't stand for our women to start doing the things that they did, like getting extra Botox, all this stuff. Now, some things I'm cool with, but when you go overboard, like what's her name, Carly Red, or you start looking like Vivica Fox, like it's like, girl, that is not for us. Like we could have accepted it if you got rid of some crow's feet, but that generally is not for us. So I think now we are cracking because you have to think drugs play a part in it, alcohol, like all that stuff plays a part in it. But if you've taken care of yourself and you got Angela Bassett, we love Angela Bassett. Angela Bassett look way younger than Madonna. That's just the truth. That's just the truth. Like Betty White.
I love rest her soul. I love Betty White.
She aged so gracefully and she looked good. What you can still look good for your age. The problem is you want to look like you trying to compete with the ones that are in their 20s and 30s, and you can't compete because you still antique.
She want to compete with her own daughter. Because her daughter Lourdes looks like Madonna used to look.
Yeah, and Lourdes was as beautiful.
She's gorgeous.
This is the before and after. Y'all can't.
I like her before. Yeah, like she looked like a graceful older woman.
Yeah, I hate the fact that they're just messing up their selves. And I think it becomes an addiction where now it's more and I can tweak this and that, not realizing it's body dysmorphia maybe, or them thinking that they see themselves in one way and they really don't. It has to be. And I know we're not talking about Little Kim, but there's a lot of instances, even Michael Jackson.
You just gonna keep trying to throw Little Kim.
I did, because I used to love Little Kim, and I thought she was so cute. She was a cute girl, cute. And now to see her like this, I'm like, what is wrong with you? And now Madonna, I was a Madonna fan, like a virgin. Hey, I was a Madonna fan too. Look at you,
Her face is swollen. It looks like she's been beat up.
Because that's what collagen does when you get too much, and then you want it, and then collagen goes down after a year or two. But these people get it before it goes down to actually set in your face, because we have collagen naturally. So you do lose collagen in certain parts, but you're not getting it to regain to look like yourself. You're getting it like it's an overload. So she looks stuffed. Like she looked like she demonic. That's the only thing I can say. But I will say I think it's social media, because now everybody's starting to look the same.
Yeah.
I'm at this point, I'm happy about my flaws or certain things, because I don't look like them. I look like myself. So they starting to look the same. It's a look. It's a Instagram filter face. Like everybody wants that, that chisel. For some reason, when you crying, like now look at them clowning Kim Kardashian because she can't cry. And I ain't gonna lie, sometimes I'm like, dang, her nose is so perfect. Then you look at your nose, you can't even appreciate the blackness in your nose. I do. I appreciate
but that's with the contouring though. So the contouring is everyone has that little nose like this, and their little cheekbones is just so high.
The Michael Jackson nose. We clowned him.
But it's the soft face, is it not? Look, if you do this and
yeah, that's it.
It's the soft face. I've said this before. My Michael Jackson mushroom nose, I can breathe. It's fine. This is what you're gonna see. And especially if you like dating, you married, don't you want him to see who you are? You taking all that makeup, you a whole nother person. And I know I hear so many guys about, you want a real man that got a real job and a real this, but you got fake hair, fake lashes, contouring, fake boobs, fake titties, suck all the fat out your stomach, put it in your thighs. Darn. We've done a lot to ourselves.
I think some surgery is okay. I can't say that I'm going to go through my whole life. But do you know who Karen Huger is?
I love Karen Huger.
So like her or people like Sheree, I think they do it just enough. But I think don't do it no more. Stop. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can do it to where it's comfortable, and then you just got to know when to stop. But I think that's why you shouldn't start, because you don't know. You may not know when to stop.
Yeah. So talking about demonic, I don't know, I want to make sure that I'm respectful of you guys' time. And the Grammys, we had another one that is making some rounds in media news. And that is Sam Smith and his performance of Unholy is getting FCC complaints. Have you heard of this, or did you see him at the Grammys and his performance, TJ?
I did not see their performance, but I started, reading the article, and I'm really saddened by it, because I liked Sam Smith because he was so talented. But I'm like, what the hell is this?
Mm-hmm.
They're just showing it in our face, the demonic spirit, and I'm just, it makes you, when you see stuff, it makes you want to take a bath really bad, and take a bath and anoint yourself with oil.
Yeah,
it's just horrible.
Well, he's gotten a lot of controversial. They're saying that his performance was very controversial. I'll pull up a snippet of that for those who hasn't seen it. We can see it now. But he has been slapped with a whole lot of FCC complaints. They said the performance of his song, the chart-topping Unholy, during the 65th Grammy Awards, got thus far 18 complaints with the FCC. And there's been a lot of people that has chimed in on it, even people such as I think Mark Rubio and some other like political figures has chimed in on it. So let's pull up a little bit of his performance. I'm gonna put it on mute because you know YouTube don't play with the censorship stuff. So we'll keep it on mute, but this is his performance where he has his hat on, his horn on the hat as if he is mimicking, obviously.
This broke my heart, y'all, because I love Sam Smith. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Him and Adele, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But I also understand entertainment because it's just like Lady Gaga. Like they have a message, whether we like it or not. They tell us all the time, but the song Unholy, it was just about a man cheating and him doing a lot of stuff somewhere, you know what I'm saying, on his family. So to send a message, we understand entertainment is ran by most of these people worship the Baphomet. The Baphomet is about being your sexuality. Most of the time you have to enter in by being humiliated. So it's like if we understand entertainment, we can take our Christian or whatever principles out of it and understand that entertainment itself, these are idols to get a message across. Music in itself, when we look at stuff, he's a demon, but when we look at stuff like the Bible and stuff like this, who was over the whole orchestra of music? Who was over all of that? So why do we think when he fell down, he would not have idols and people who wouldn't be over music still?
Yeah.
It influences you, you know? So that's the point I see.
Yeah, and I agree. Lucifer was over, he was the minister of music. And so it was so beautiful. That was him. He made it, and the music was supposed to be of worshiping of God. And I think what turned Satan is that he saw God being worshiped and he envied that. And he wanted that worship on him, and hence the fall. He was envious of God and wanted to be worshiped. He wanted to be like God. That's why we talk about Baal worship. Well, the Tower of Babylon, or what that was, that he wants to be like a God, so he wants to be elevated like God. So of course, if he's the minister of music and he created all this and made it so beautiful, then how would he get his message across? Where is the devil going to infect? He's going to infect himself and put himself in the music.
Exactly. And that's why we here today. What do they talk about? Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion is influencing the women. What we talk about, the rap music is influencing the men. Whether it's true, but that has a higher influence. When you're going through a breakup, let me tell you, Mary J. Blige.
Man, listen.
It gets you through it. When you want to feel uplifted, let me put on some Donnie McClurkin or some, music, and we don't even understand it. So they just idols, and we be so shocked. But no, either cut off the music or understand what you're listening to.
Yeah. Let me go over some of the stuff that some of the people was saying and some of the complaints. I'm filing this complaint because of the duplicable and downright disgusting performance last night on the 2023 Grammy Awards show featuring Sam Smith and Kim, Petras? And she was the first transgender woman to win an award. So that was something big at the Grammys as well, too. There is some more stuff. I mean, some of these complaints. Ted Cruz, this is evil. Marjorie Taylor Greene, the Grammys featured Sam Smith's demonic performance and was sponsored by Pfizer. And the Satanic Church now has an abortion clinic in New Mexico that requires its patients to perform a satanic ritual before services. I got to look into that. American Christians need to get to work. Amen. Lauren, Barbrett? The Satanic Temple is now opening abortion clinics that will perform abortion. I didn't even know that. So that's something I need to look into.
I mean, they should do it. You don't offer your kids up to Moloch, so that would be in line to do it. Why are we so shocked? Like we really don't know scripture?
I mean, it's not shock, but the thing is though, it's the revelation of scripture, and you're actually seeing it. And then it's also the attack of Christianity. You don't see them performing anything that attack another religion. They ain't doing nothing to attack Buddhists, Islam. They damn sure ain't gonna say nothing about the Jewish religion. But they don't do anything else but mock and make fun of Christianity.
But the thing about Christianity is they don't speak up against nothing. So if you had such a strong foundation, and we understand you can't say nothing about a lot of other religious groups, that is the only religious group where you can get on stage with your breasts out in a fake church and portray to be a Christian or whatever, make a church girl song that has nothing to do with church, and you say absolutely nothing. They allow it. Mm-hmm. So then you question, how strong are you for your fight? You know what I'm saying? If anybody can just come in and remix stuff and say this and that and the other, you also aren't an effective group of people where you're respected to the point where I know if I get on stage talking about church girl or having anything on that portrays that, I'm going to be reprimanded. Even when you look at movies, every time you see the person that believes in Christ or something, they are crazy. They are look at Carrie, her mother, crazy. You know what I'm saying? Anytime you see any demonstration of it, so they don't do it, but they also don't speak against it, so that they demand the respect that they want. You know what I'm saying? They kind of just go along. I'm just gonna stay in my own corner. The church don't really do nothing to help or go against anything. It's like, what do they do?
Yeah.
And that's unfortunate because, when I consider growing up and my mom growing up, the church was that, again, fire and brimstone, and that is not what we have anymore. So again, you would not see what we're seeing now. Even, you have to, if you were on the front row, you had to have a towel or something over your skirt if it was too short. So unfortunately, it's kind of like what we were talking about at the beginning of the show, is that how, far as Black people, having boundaries and enforcing the boundaries compared to the alphabet community, now liken that to Christianity, that we don't have the boundaries because we're mocked, and we've allowed ourselves to be a mockery.
Yeah. I hear you guys. Let me go over some of these super chats real quick, and then I have one last thing that I want to discuss for the weekend of Say What. What y'all think about that? Say what? Some of this stuff I really want to say what the hell, but YouTube be playing. Say passe says, okay, I appreciate that. I'm catching up on the stream. Y'all better let someone else be the test dummies for those gummies before y'all start coughing. You have a point there.
I'll be the test dummy.
You let me know how that goes. Asian women age very well, very, very well too. It's the melanin, I guess. The melanin it preserves. So,
and they drink tea. That's
their health. They eat well. You hardly will see a big fat Asian, or you just don't see them like that. I don't see them in the plus size area.
They eat a lot of vegetables.
Right. Candace Owens said Madonna looks like Jigsaw, and Candace Owens was correct.
Correct.
She was absolutely correct on that one. It's important to back up your beliefs with scriptures. Celine, thank you so much, and I absolutely agree. All right, so this is also picking back with talking about Sam Smith and demonic and the music. And this was featured. This story I heard about was on The Breakfast Club as the donkey of the day. And I had to research it because I was like, are we serious? And this brings me to the Say What last moment of the day. Church of England to explore gender-neutral terms for God. Women clergy suggest for the replacing of our Father.
What's that in that movie? We gonna die, y'all.
Yeah, God, hurry up and come. So the Church of England has announced, I'm going to put this back up. All right. So the Church of England has announced it will explore alternative words to describe God after some clergy asked to use more inclusive language in services. The dominance of masculine language for God certainly matters. And this was a feminist theologian. Her name was Mary Daly. She wrote, "If God is male, the male is God. In other words, talking about Christian God is exclusively masculine terms, and it has privilege towards men in society and underpins male dominance." According to the church spokesperson, the official Christian doctrine is that God is no gender, yet he is described almost exclusively in masculine terms. And since the church continues to struggle with issues of gender equality, this project is likely to be contentious. Critics will see this as an attempt to undo the long Christian tradition of calling God He and Father. But feminine language and imagery has also been a part of Christian history. Initial reports indicate that the church project will explore gender-neutral terminology, parent instead of father, but there have been other recent proposals to use feminine language such as she.
They're actually not wrong. Let me tell y'all why. Wait, don't jump me. Let me tell you why.
Okay.
So God in itself should just be creator, right? Like God never had a gender, but it does go against if you have to say father. The thing is I'm gonna ask a question. Let me ask a question. If they gave us the book and put those words in there, what makes us think they can't give us another one and put different words?
What do you mean? Explain that.
Sorry, Lauren's singing if you hear her.
Oh, she's
so if they gave us this book that says these words, why are we thinking that they can't give us another book that says believe this?
Well,
can you define your creator without the Bible?
Can I? Yeah, I can tell you proof that there is a God for me. And what a God is God is timeless. So therefore, you have to have someone that creates time. If someone creates time, then they can't be of time. So God there's no space when it comes to God. So he's not material. In order to make things, God has to make a material. You can't make a material out of nothing. That is God for me. So you have to be a creator. So he has to be timeless because he can't create time and be in time. He can't create space and material out of it, something that has to be there. So that's kind of my idea of God. Now, with a Christian belief, just because you believe in God doesn't necessarily mean you believe in Christianity. So then it becomes, well, how do you prove that Christianity is real? Can I do it without the Bible? I mean, I rely on the Bible. That's what makes me a Christian, is because I believe in its book, but I know it's an inspired word by God. Us trying to remix it is not Christian or biblical at all. And God is very specific as far as gender roles. Jesus was part God to me, the Trinity. God lives in him. And Jesus was a man. So I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I just asked.
Well, I was going to ask. Are you?
Okay, hold up. Lucky, you gotta go.
I'm gonna go, and then I'm gonna say this. I just believe that if we stop putting so much power and making God strict to this book, and figure out who God is prior to this. One thing I do know, I like what you said. There's things that we can look around and tell us what God is. One thing he gave us was a conscience. a spirit of discernment and the ability to meditate to figure out what he is. I believe you can read a lot of different things that tell you what the creator is. I don't think his gender matters. So I just think that we shouldn't be so hooked up on them changing books when my God is bigger than a book. My God is bigger than all of this. So they could say whatever in a book. I believe him based on spiritual relationship, like he stated. So that was just my thing. Like sometimes we get so caught up in a book that has been changed. They have a female Bible. You know what I'm saying? The book that has been changed so many times, and that's not who God is. Those are just the stories that we're able to get in. Those are just the people that said, this is what we put in this book, and this is what you believe, especially to our particular demographic. So that's just my thoughts on it. I don't care what you think.
I'm gonna expand on that. We'll talk about this another time though. But
think about what I'm going.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate you, Lucky. Thank you.
Bye.
I don't know. I mean,
no. What do you agree with what Lucky just said? That God is bigger than the Bible or the book, and that we shouldn't rely on the Bible?
Well, he is bigger than the book, but again, the book is how I learned about God.
Yeah.
I mean, the book is how I learned about God and Jesus. Mm-hmm. So, yes, he's bigger, but again, that is just like in any education, the resources, the sources where I got the information to form my way of thinking on certain topics. So, I think what bothers me is, again, all change is not beneficial.
Mm-hmm.
Some change can bring more confusion than clarity.
Yeah.
And I think what we're talking about now, what you've shown me is going to bring more confusion.
Yeah. I think that, people call on the name of God, and there's so many different gods. And just because you say you believe in God, well, what God do you believe in? Is it Allah?
Mm-hmm.
There's some people that believe that Mother Earth is their God. So that's who you praise to. And for me, no, I pray to a specific God.
Mm-hmm.
And he specifically inspired the Bible for me to understand who he is, and how I'm supposed to live. And these are just the instructions. Jordan says this all the time in the chat. The Bible is basic instructions, whatever the acronym he says, but that's what it is. And so my God is particularly not the God he's not Allah as far as the God of Christianity. And he's not this God, and he's not Buddha, and he's not, and he is this. And if you are a Christian, then this is the book, and you believe in Christ. You believe in Jesus. And this is the book that you believe in. And I stick to that. And anyone trying to change it because they are upset with the name of it, I think it's blasphemous. And that's not my book. And there's gender in the Bible. There's gender roles in the Bible. He created man and women to do something completely different, and their purpose is different. And I'm not changing the Bible. And I think it's absolutely wrong and demonic to try to change it to make someone feel better. The Bible is not supposed to make you feel good. The Bible is for you to get it, to learn, and for you to get it right. And if you believe in a heaven and hell, the Bible is teaching you how to get to a particular place.
Mr. Randolph said, he didn't think that he would be living in a time where you would see revelation start to manifest, and we are here, and it is a very scary time. Very scary to see this. I mean, it's not that, if anything, I'm not surprised by the behavior, but I guess what I'm surprised by, like my husband said, that it is happening in my lifetime to see it. That is what I'm surprised by.
Yeah.
So
we sound like the mother's like, we living in the last days. But I believe we are.
Yeah. I can't, again, y'all know that anybody's watching me knows that my grandfather was my everything. I cannot fathom that my grandfather would have been alive to see something like this. all the stuff that's happening. I can't fathom it.
I can't either. So there is let me see. I'll pull up. There was they were talking about this on here.
Key by introducing gender neutral pronouns in prayers. What is your view of a gender neutral God?
Congratulations to the church for doing everything possible to become completely irrelevant from society with this woke BS. It's embarrassing that they can't go back and look at what Scripture says and look at certain things like our Father who art in heaven, and then sit there and think, wow, of all the problems that people have in the world, that we could be helping people with poverty and with children and with orphans and with people that are starving around the world. Let's go back in and rewrite this so that we don't offend anybody. Guess what? The Scriptures are offensive to people that sin. The Scriptures are offensive to Christians because it is about right and wrong. There are people that are always going to be offended by the Bible, and to try to take the offensiveness out of it and give everybody a kumbaya warm hug is a disaster for the church. Anyone that's doing this, in my opinion, should not be in a position of leadership of the church, and they should be fired immediately for trying it.
Okay.
Well, I think, with all respect to Ben, he's right that the church should be concerned about poverty, about the needs of children. The church could get a lot more active in supporting marginalised people, but this isn't the Church of England considering a massive change. This is just a part of the Church of England having a discussion about possibly allowing some variety in worship in the way God is referred to. And actually, there's nothing new about it. God is not literally male or literally female. God doesn't have genitals or chromosomes. God, you're not suggesting, Ben, are you, that God is actually literally male?
Like, are you? Okay, let me ask you a question. Serious question. Am I black?
So TJ, what are your thoughts right now on the discussion?
Well, my thoughts is that, it's amazing what people will do to rationalize their points of view and to justify what, in my opinion, was unjustifiable. I mean, again, I think if we're talking about having expansive language to be more inclusive, what? That's not what the Bible is about. It's about, again, instructions. God's word. What are we talking about here? What?
Yeah. I find I have a huge issue with people trying to rewrite my Bible. And I say mine because I believe in it in its entirety. And this would become a slippery slope, because then they're going to change what marriage is in the Bible. They've already done it here as far as legally, but between one man and one woman is when they cleave. We're going to change that. Well, man, woman, or man, man, like that's not what the Bible is about. In Christianity, this is our beliefs. If you don't believe it, then create what you want to. Believe me and my religion alone. Leave it alone. And if you don't believe in it, then don't you try to change it up to make it what you want to believe. Go on to somewhere where what you believe. But again, it's always Christianity that is under attack. Now, nobody's going to change the Quran.
You bet.
Ain't man nobody changing no Torah, no other book, but you want to come up and change my King James version?
Lord help us, for real. Can you imagine trying to change the Torah? Oh my gosh.
Right.
Or the Quran?
But Lucky did have a point, because Christians don't stand up for their faith like other cultures or other religions do. We are so passive, and we think that Jesus is some just sweet man that was Jesus got upset. He turned over tables in the temple. Like, he wasn't just this happy-go-lucky guy. He got upset and things pissed him off. The Bible said everybody ain't gonna get to heaven. No. Jesus told people, you are of your father Satan. Like, it ain't there's boundaries, there's rules, there's laws, there's everything in the Bible teaches, and you just not going to come and try to change mine and think that that's going to be okay. And for a church to do it, it just shows the end times. People heeding on what they want to hear, itchy ears. Like, this is all prophetic.
It is. Oh my gosh! Like I said, I need to go anoint myself with oil.
Yeah. Let's see what this guy has to say. Let's see.
Black.
I don't know. I can't see you. I'm just talking down a microphone, so I don't know what
He's
you look
not,
like.
for the record.
Okay. Am I a male? Am I a male or a female? Serious question.
Well, I assuming you're male from what you say. Of course, Jesus as a human being was male.
So if you can be that logical, hold on 1 second. If you can be that logical, and I'll go to Piers Morgan for this. Is Piers Morgan black or white?
Well, I'm currently identifying as white.
And Piers is white. God is not black or white,
so you identify
or male
as
or
white.
female.
This is the insanity. The fact that we're even having a pause and people are worried about how to answer the damn question is the absurdity of what's going on in this world. Piers, just so you know, I have no problem saying you're white. I have no problem saying that you're not Roy McIlroy. I have no problem saying that you're not a woman. I have no problem saying that you're not Jesus. I have no problem saying that there's a difference between a man and a woman. There shouldn't be a long pause because we're afraid of offending someone when we tell them the truth. The fact is, there are certain things that are just straight, simple. Ben. Yes, Jesus is a man.
All right, Ben,
just
let Simon
ranting
respond to that. I mean, Simon, the point
discussion.
I would make, Simon, is simply that I can imagine that a lot of people in England who are Christian, who've seen this headline sitting in the Daily Mail, the front page, is God going to go gender neutral? They'll just groan out loud, and they will think the Church of England has gone woke. And as we know, once that starts, it just starts to alienate people from the church. And at a time when the church needs more support, not less support, I'm surprised they would want to press the woke button.
I'm not surprised because that's the goal. I'm not surprised at all. And this woke movement is to let me get my words together. And I don't even know if that's what I want to say. The woke movement, I think the idea is to change everything God created. So if he created you a woman, you must create yourself to be a man. If he created marriage, then we must promote singledom. If he created gender roles, then we have to switch the idea of gender roles. It's just doing the complete opposite of what God wanted. And now they're so bold that they bring in a raggedy, stank, demonic, foolish ass into the Bible to change up the word. And it is the living word. And they want to degrade, and it's sad.
I'm speechless. I'm really, when you first read this part about the church, I literally felt my tears welling up in my eyes because we're going to hell on the elevator.
Who's on that song? Highway to Hell? Yes.
On the elevator.
Highway to Hell.
And I'm like, and what I feel bad about more than anything is the kids. I think about my grandchildren, because they're trying to rewrite not only history, but rewrite our future.
Mm-hmm.
And people, as we die off, are not going to be able to tell them what is true. Not as what our truth, your truth, what is true.
Yeah.
That's what upsets me.
Yeah, it is. It's like I said, it's upsetting because again, I see this thing happening in real time, and um just everything that is right is being condemned. Everything that was created to give life is being condemned. And it's no, you can't create life with a man and a man and a woman and a woman. You just can't. You can't. Your body parts was made specifically to do something. And again, we are not the more we get away from our moral beliefs, you're gonna see more Sam Smith. You're gonna see Madonna look like Jigsaw. And again, it's God created me this way. And so the biggest slap in the face to God is to mess up what he created.
I got
Let's
nothing.
see.
I
Let
really
me
don't.
see
When I
what else
saw
they
the
gotta
Daily
say.
Mail headline, because it was so inaccurate, because it suggested this was going to be some major change in the Church of England, rather than a committee having a discussion about some possible minor changes. It may alienate you for the church to try to be inclusive, but actually this is challenging. If we can, I'm happy to call God he or she or they.
What would you do with the Lord's
because
Prayer
God
then,
is
out of
not
interest? What would you do, Simon, with the Lord's Prayer? You can't start with Our Father.
I still say our Father, but
why?
actually,
Why would
there are
you do
prayers
that
going
if you
back to the
believe
Middle
in gender
Ages that refer to God as Mother?
Yeah, but hang on. If you believe in gender neutrality for God, why would you start the Lord's Prayer with Our Father? That makes no sense. Obviously, you have to change it to Our Person.
Well, I'd happy to say Father or Mother, because I think God is our Father and our Mother. And as I say, there are prayers from the Middle Ages.
So you would change the Lord's Prayer to say Our Mother who art in heaven.
This is not something new.
Well, hang on, Simon. I want to know.
No, I'd happily say either.
Every church, everywhere I go where there's a church setting, you say the Lord's Prayer. Right? Are you now saying we change the wording of the Lord's Prayer to Our Mother who art in heaven? Is that what you're suggesting? Right. So just to clarify,
Jesus referred to God as...
Right. I understand. Let me just ask a question. Just to clarify, so that everyone watching is under no illusion what this means. If God is deemed to be gender neutral, what is the wording to the start of the Lord's Prayer? How do we start it?
I think it's fine to refer to God as Father or Mother or Parent. I don't think that's the point.
Have you been to a church service where they said, Our Mother who art in heaven, Simon? Have you been to one that did that?
I've been to a church service that said Our Parent, yes.
But our Mother...
Not in the Lord's Prayer, but in other prayers. I've led prayers in church where
but the Lord's Prayer is the most important prayer of all. We know that in the Christian church.
No. What makes a prayer important is the sincerity in our hearts, not
what is
arguments
sincere about changing
how
the
I just don't. Okay.
Okay, even if we want to, even if we want to talk about family, who leads a family? Our Father.
That's why but now you got to change it. Now you have to change it. So no, our mothers can lead just as well as our dads can lead. Everything is just so fluid. And that creates chaos. No structure, no order is chaos. And nothing can necessarily survive in chaos. No peace. Nothing that you can flourish. Not out of chaos. And it's just because, again, they're doing this to something, the Bible, and again, who I worship. And like, it's just normal. No, I know my mother who art in heaven. No, that ain't. Masculinity has its leadership attached to it, its strength. Femininity is the softness, the kind. That is that. And my Father is who leads, is that strength, it's that structure. And they want to take it out.
Well, my mom used to say this a long time ago. It all began when they took prayer out of church. Out of schools. Because I was around long enough to remember when we started school day with the Pledge of Allegiance and the Lord's Prayer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, do you remember saying the Pledge of Allegiance? Do you remember the words?
Yes.
What is it?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Yes. And then we would say the Lord's Prayer.
They took that out, but then want to put the Satanic Church and the Satan Club in the school.
Wording. Yeah, but what's sincere about changing the wording after centuries of this key prayer in the Christian
As
church?
I say,
from our Father who art in heaven,
there are
to
prayers
our
from the Middle
parent who art
Ages
in heaven.
that refer
Ben
to God
Ferguson,
as
to
mother.
me, the problem with this, Ben, is it makes no sense. Yeah. Like a lot of woke things, it all sounds great and
stupid.
Inclusive,
Look,
right
it's
to the
yours
point and
describing
try
it
and
as
work
woke,
out.
Piers.
Well, hang on, Simon.
This
Hang on.
is something.
Simon, hang on. I'm asking Ben. The problem is, Ben, when you go down this woke rabbit hole, it sounds great in principle. Yeah, let's be more inclusive. Until you get to the actual details, i.e., what is the wording of the Lord's Prayer? And when I hear it, it might be our parent who art in heaven or our mother who art in heaven. I can only tell you, my mother, a Catholic watching this at home, will be throwing stuff at the screen.
Yeah, if you want to destroy
Why?
religion, this is how you do it. Let me finish. If you want to destroy people's faith in God, this is how you do it. If you want to destroy the church, this is how you destroy it. And that may be what some people are wanting to do here through wokeness, is say, we stand for nothing to include everything, and we don't stand up for right and wrong. Because ultimately, if you look at what the Bible is about, and you look at what people believe in, it's about, let me finish. Okay, just hold on. I was quiet for quite some time, and Piers knows me well. That was very hard for me to do.
Very unusual.
The church is about...
Hold on. Pause it, Courtney.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this dude, his tie, his shirt, his beard. He looks unkempt.
That is a good call out. Look at him. He looks like he's been drinking all night long and forgot that he had to come to work the next day and hurried up, couldn't shave, couldn't fix his tie. He looks disheveled.
He completely does.
Honey, listen, that's how you look without God in your life, disheveled. Put a little prayer, a little Jesus in your life. That's right. No, what? No, look at him. He looks bad. No peace. That's a good call out. You know, I always say, I don't look like what I've been through. Hello. Sure don't. Because Lord knows if it wasn't for Jesus, I'd be looking disheveled as well too. Amen. All right, let me finish this out.
Right and wrong, and good and evil. And if you take that away, where the church can no longer stand up for what is right and have principles and declare that things are in fact wrong, you will destroy the church, and you will destroy a society who has no faith in anything, has no faith in any God.
We got to leave it there.
And that is going to be where they go with this.
It's an interesting debate.
No, I know why you keep getting removed. Thoughts on that, TJ?
Well, I mean, the gentleman said, again, we include everything, stand for nothing, no right or wrong. And I think, again, I don't know. I guess because, again, I've lived long enough to know and remember things. If I don't remember them personally, I remember them from my mom telling me, to the extent of when she was pregnant with me as an unwed mother, that was shamed. And, they removed her from all the things that she was doing in church because that's not the example that they wanted to set. They took, my mom was, on these different things in church, but because that's not the example that they wanted to set, and that was not something they wanted to encourage, they stripped my mother from those positions because they did not want someone that was unwed and pregnant, out in front. Did it hurt my mom? Yes, it did. But it was to show that that's not the example that they wanted to set for their young women to be unwed and pregnant in
Right.
leadership positions in front of the church. You know? And again, I was back long enough, and I'm not saying I agree with everything, and my mom didn't agree with everything either. But again, back then, they did not want women to wear pants. I mean, you know, so again, and they condemned certain behaviors. It was right and wrong. Now, all of it wasn't right the way they did it, of course not. But there were clear guidelines as to how we should conduct ourselves in accordance with the written word of God. But now it's all left, taking interpretation to a whole different level. To a whole different level. It is ridiculous.
Yeah. I wanted to play this first. You guys, thank you so much for the support. Black Lexicon, love the diversity of topics, a breath of fresh air. Thank you so much. I feel like it is too. Like so much going on every week. And I'm like, let's dig into some of these topics more than just other topics. Jesus. Work on me, Lord. Okay, I want to play this. There is what people probably don't know about me is that I am super obsessed with watching debates with Christians and agnostic Christians and atheist Christians and Muslim Christian. Like, I am completely obsessed with watching debates on those. I just find it fascinating. And then I just kind of learned to start watching a lot of Christians that call themselves apologetics, which means they literally defend the idea of being a Christian and being in what God is in Christianity. And I have learned so much, and they've made my faith so much deeper because I have more of an understanding of a lot of things. And there is a guy that I adore. His name is Frank Turek. He has an awesome book called I Don't Have Enough Faith to Be an Atheist. I ain't got enough faith to be trying this and that. No, I'm going to stick over here to the lakes and streams and waterfalls that I'm used to. And he answered this question, and this is what I wanted to show Lucky, but I'm going to show her on the replay, about who is God and how can you determine or know that there is a God. And I wanted to show this because I think it's just simple, but it just made so much sense to me. Let me bring it up.
How does it make sense for anything to be timeless and spaceless? How can it exist out of space and time? Because everything we know that exists is in space and time. I'm just kind of...
All right, excellent question. Weird. The things that we're using right now to communicate are not in space and time. Like the laws of logic, they're spaceless, timeless, they're immaterial. In my view, they're grounded in God's nature. And for us to communicate with one another, the only way we can is to use these laws of logic as a bridge between our minds. If they didn't exist, then we'd be locked in our own skulls and we couldn't think about anything. We couldn't communicate with one another. So there are spaceless, timeless, and immaterial realities that we all know exist. The laws of logic, the laws of mathematics, the laws of morality, like it's wrong to murder innocent children. That's a spaceless, timeless, immaterial reality, not made of molecules, but it exists eternally outside of space and time. It affects space and time for people in it, but it's spaceless, timeless, and immaterial because, again, it's grounded in God's nature.
For me, he just makes things it's just so easy. Like, how can you explain God? Well, if I can explain God, because in order to make time, they have to be timeless. In order to make material, the being has to be immaterial. In order to create space, it has to live outside of space. That, in essence, is what God is. And it's easy and simplistic, but and it's just those concepts where it just makes sense. And it was like, I know that there is a God. Because in order for me to be here, it has to be a being that's outside of me, that has to be living. And that particular being that is timeless, that's immaterial, that's spaceless, that is worth praising and worshiping.
Somebody put in there, God murdered plenty of children in the Bible. Well, one of the things I will say that, and I am not a Bible scholar, but when we think about Ramesses, when we think about how his child paid for his sin, when we think about David, how his child paid for his sin. So yeah, there's basically, it means that there are consequences for sin.
Absolutely, yeah.
Consequences for sin.
And the thing is also with being a Christian is just death. Your living is just your location. You're here. When you die, you're just going to another location. You ain't gonna die, and that's the end of you. And if my God created me, then he's able to do whatever he wants to with me because I'm his. And if it decides that he allows something to happen, then that's what he wants, and that's what he wants. But it's just a moving location. It's just like a baby, the idea of abortion and people going how hard, it's just a clump of cells. No, it's not, it's living. And the baby inside of you is living. It's just the location, or if the baby is inside of you and now going outside of your womb. When you die, you're just not on earth physically, but you're just changing the location. And I think God, it has the power to change any location of anyone that he wants. And we don't live in his realm to understand. We try to give him the logic of simple-minded people here. We try to give God our logic, and we can't. You can't even figure out how big space is. And I'm telling you, the man that created you is bigger than space. So if you can't comprehend space, then how in the world do you think you're going to comprehend God on any level, what he decides to do with his own creation? If you can logically tell me how big space is and has that idea, but you can't. And what I'm saying is God lives outside of that. So anyways, so yeah. So TJ, say what? What do you think about if I say it like that? Say what? How am I name this show? I say what?
Say what?
Say what? I'm gonna work on that, but I'm gonna go ahead and end it today. This has been an awesome conversation. Last words, TJ.
I had fun. It was good. It was like one of the comments said, it was a very, diversity of topics, and different perspectives, and definitely thought provoking from, both of you. And, some things I can understand, some things I don't, but I think that's the beauty of it. Different perspectives, and fun, and not argumentative, and not just stuck on the same topic. So I think that was good. Lucky got a kid. But that was good. I enjoyed it, and thanks for everybody for coming. I appreciate it. Definitely, y'all make sure you like the video on the way in, on the way out, and to subscribe to our channels if you're so inclined.
Yeah, absolutely. So go to my description, you guys. The panelist that you saw, she's so lucky. Her page is linked also in this description, and so is Mrs. Mosaic. TJ Randolph is also linked, so you guys subscribe. But I thought this was refreshing. So back at you, what you think about next week? Say what?
Yes, honey, it's from because from balloons to flying objects, and girl,
we got a lot more to talk about.
Sure enough.
So keep that balloon topic, because I want to go in deep on that one, because I think they have, and Americans look like a idiot fool.
Well, when I saw that, I think I put in my community page, I said, we being punked. We being punked.
4 days of a balloon flying around, getting all kind of information. We shoot it down, and then they mad we shoot it down.
We being punked. Don't get me started. You know, I'm military, so I think a little bit differently.
Oh, you okay? Say that thought.
Yeah.
All right. I appreciate you again as always, TJ.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye. Say what? How am I? Say what? Maybe I'll do it like what? What is it, Willis? Say what? What you talking about? Okay, I'm gonna work on that. Anyways, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This was just something that the three ladies decided to come together and talk about stuff that interests us, what's going on in the world. It's like I said before, it's just so much stuff that I want to run my mouth about. And this is going to be where we do it. And if you guys want some stuff to discuss, this is open. This is all of our shit. So you can email me some stuff that you want to talk about. And also, I would love to have some special panelists on too. So if you want to join a Say What show, send me your email, contact@IamCourtneyMichelle.com. Other than that, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you, Lucky. Thank you, TJ. We'll be back again. And as always, my family, be a blessing.